15 seconds to air. Stand by, all cameras.
Ready with slow motion and isolated cameras.
Stand by, videotape, and roll tape.
And tape is rolling in less than 5, in 3, 2, 1.
Take tape.
From Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, National Football League action featuring the 1970 Super Bowl champions Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Colts, three-time champions of the National Football League. NFL Monday Night Football is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to come in and test drive the 1971 Fords, the cars with the better ideas. And by Marlboro Filter Cigarettes. Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro Country. On the field here at Memorial Stadium, quarterback of the Baltimore Colts, Johnny Unitas. Quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Len Dawson. With them, Howard Cosell.
Leonard, question number one. I know it's early in the season, but you did lose to Minnesota. You must regard this as a must-win game.
Howard, you're right. Even though it is early in the season, it is a must game because we have yet to get on the win side. And this is an outstanding football team we're playing, and I'm sure it's going to be a great ball game.
Inevitably, when a team wins the title, everybody shoots at them. Inevitably, they say the hunger is gone. Has some of the spark left your club?
I don't think so. Of course, in a few minutes we're going to find out, but I think we've got it there. We haven't pieced things together, but hopefully it'll come tonight.
Good luck to you, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks.
Lenny Dawson, and now to the man who's been proclaimed the quarterback of the decade and perhaps in the minds of many the greatest ever to play, number 19, John Unitas. John, yesterday at practice, the left knee swathed in bandages and, quite frankly, a hyperextension that almost activated Jim Ward today. And it was the thought that Morrill would start. Tell us first, what is hyperextension?
Well, it's actually, Howard, the knee being forced in the wrong direction. Instead of on a hinge joint, and the hinge works one way, and they try to make it work both ways.
All right, you have to set by pushing off the left foot in order to throw the pass. Will you be hindered tonight?
I don't think so. The knee feels real well today. The swelling is going down, and I have just about full amount of flexion in it. And it's the biggest problem would be as I stretch out to try to get back a little bit faster. It just won't permit me to get back there.
Some of the would-be experts have said you throw the short one with all of the old brilliance, but the ability to throw the long one is no longer there. True or not true?
Well, you'll have to ask the experts.
Final question. They say that the 70s will be the decade of the sprint-out quarterback. Your comment?
I don't think so, Howard. As valuable as a quarterback is, I think they want him to stay back in the pocket where he has the most protection. Occasionally he's going to get hit, and they're going to blitz occasionally. He has to have the ability to move or slide from one side to the other and knowing where his protection is. On a sprint out, he's left only one way to go, and that's basically the way he's sprinting out to, and it makes the coverage a little bit tough.
Superb defensive team you faced tonight, but you're ready.
As best I can figure.
Good luck to you, John.
Thank you very much.
John Unitas, and now very quickly, let's meet our play-by-play announcer from whom you've already heard, Keith Jackson. And Keith, I would think you'd like to point out some of the very great defensive stars we'll be watching tonight.
Well, Howard, I think you're certainly right that we have some of the outstanding defensive football players in all of football tonight. Certainly a house full of all pros. You talk about Kansas City defense, you think Buchanan, you think the linebacking corps headed by Willie Lanier, you think Aaron Brown, plus a sharp defensive secondary. And, of course, Baltimore's defense is led by the great Bubba Smith, also the veteran Fred Miller, and also one of the very fine defensive zone secondaries in all of football. These quarterbacks, I think, will be tested tonight.
All right, now to our other colleague, loose and easy, with the magnificence of a Texas drawl and a background in professional football that in its time will be legendary, Dandy Don Meredith. And Dandy Don, you know how great these two teams are defensively. How will the respective quarterbacks attack them.
In talking to both Lenny and John before the game, it seemed that there was one word that they kept using. We'll have to be patient. I know Dawson feels that he must establish the running game first, and that's quite true. He thinks that the Baltimore zone can be beaten, but he's going to have to be satisfied with the short passes. As far as Unitas is concerned, he almost said the same thing. He said they have an odd stack defense that's very difficult to run against, and I've got to take the short one. And, you know, the good Lord takes care of those who wait, so we'll just find out tonight.
Okay, Dandy, the pregame activities are just about over here at Baltimore Memorial Stadium. We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just one moment.
Simple things mean a lot out here. The dry blankets, hot cup of coffee, a good smoke.
You get a lot to like with the Marlboro filter flavor Peckerbox.
Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro country.
This is Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
The singing of our national anthem.
In Baltimore, Maryland, 60 degrees. The heat wave along the eastern seaboard has been broken, and this is the Baltimore Colts' 45th consecutive sellout crowd at home. Game number 2 for these two teams, Kansas City's Chiefs. Jan Stenerud, number 3, the former Norwegian ski jumper who came to this country, matriculated at Montana State, will kick it off. For the Baltimore Colts, number 30 on the right, their prize rookie, Ron Gardine from Arizona, and number 35, Jim Duncan, and the ball game is underway. It's in the end zone, and it hits the goalpost. It'll be Baltimore's ball, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now let's run across the Baltimore starting offensive lineup. The wide receivers, as we start the ball game, will be number 33, Eddie Hetton, number 87, Roy Jefferson. Along the line, Bob Vogel, number 72 at tackle, along with Sam Ball, number 73. The guards, Dan Sullivan, 71. John Williams, number 75. The center is Bill Curry, number 50. The quarterback is the great man of this decade of pro football, Johnny Unitas. Norm Bulash in the running back position, number 36, the big rookie, along with number 45, Jerry Hill. Tom Matty is out of the lineup with an injury. 1st and 10 from the 20, the first play of the game, and Unitas goes deep for Jefferson, and it's over his head, out of bounds, incomplete. Roy Jefferson, number 87, who came to this Baltimore ball club from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Checking very quickly now as we look down into the Baltimore huddle with Johnny Unitas. Eddie Hetton is number 33, the great from Oklahoma. Baltimore defeated San Diego in the American Football Conference 16-14 with a fine rookie kicker, Jim O'Brien, getting 3 field goals and the margin of victory from 28 yards out. Hetton comes very wide to the left as Unitas sets 2nd down 10 at the 20. John Mackey is the tight end. And obviously a busted signal. The official in tonight's ball game, the referee Jim Tunney, the line judge John Steppen, the umpire Pat Harder, the back judge Bill Kastemeyer, the head linesman Burl Toller, and the field judge Dick Dolak. An illegal procedure called against the Baltimore Colts. The Kansas City Chiefs defensive captain accepts it. It is 2nd down and 15. Along the front wall for Kansas City, number 75 is Jerry Mays. Number 87 is Aaron Brown. Number 86 is Buck Buchanan. Number 61 is Curly Culp. The linebackers, Willie Lanier, number 63. Number 78 is Bobby Bell. And Jim Lynch, number 51. 2nd down and 15 for Baltimore from their own 15-yard line. Bulach has it. The big kid from TCU is hit behind the line of scrimmage, and it's Aaron Brown, the first man to get to him, number 87. There is a loss on the play, back to the 13-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 17 in the secondary for Kansas City. The cornerbacks, number 40, Jim Marcellus, number 18, Emmett Thomas. The safeties, number 46, Jim Kearney, and number 42, Johnny Robinson. The Baltimore Colts victors over San Diego 16-14, moving into the American Football Conference from the National Football League as of the merger. Kansas City defeated by Minnesota 27-10. Unitas will throw on 3rd and 17. He gets it away, and the pass is complete. It is caught by Ray Perkins, who had come into the lineup at the wide receiver position. Ray Perkins now leaves the field, but it is short of the first down. Up at the 28-yard line, it'll be 4th down and 2, and Baltimore will have to kick it away. Dave Lee is in the lineup to do the punting, and he led the National Football League in punting last year at 45.3, the second time in his 4-year career that he has led the league in punting. He hangs it high, allowing very good coverage. The ball hits the ground, and it is down at the 36-yard line. Put down at the 36 by number 61 for Baltimore, Cornelius Johnson from Virginia Union. So now we'll have our first look at Kansas City on offense. A 36-yard punt for the Kansas City Chiefs. The wide receivers will be Frank Fitz, number 25. Otis Taylor will not be in the lineup. He is out with an injury. He could play if he had to. Gloucester Richardson, number 30, in replacing him. Wendell Hayes, Mike Garrett, the running backs. Lenny Dawson, the quarterback. The center is E.J. Holub. On 1st and 10 from the 36, it's Mike Garrett. He is up to about the 38-yard line before he is brought down. Along the interior line for Kansas City offensively, number 77, Jim Tyrer. Number 71, Ed Buddy. The other guard will be number 76, Mo Moorman. And on the right tackle position, number 73, Dave Hill. So those are the people on the field playing the game right now. Hank Stram, the coach of the football team that won the Super Bowl game in 1970. 2nd down and 8 yards to go for Kansas City. The ball at their own 38. Dawson gives again to Mike Garrett. Kansas City has a 1st down at the Baltimore 45-yard line, and a great block on the left side to get the little guy from Southern California loose. Tom Maxwell in the defensive secondary made the tackle for Baltimore. Baltimore's front four is Bubba Smith, number 78, Billy Ray Smith, number 74, Fred Miller, number 76, and Roy Hilton, number 85. The linebackers are Bob Grant, number 51, Mike Curtis, number 32, and Ted Hendricks, number 83. That's Garrett again. This time he is caught behind the line of scrimmage. The loss is back to the Baltimore 48-yard line, a 3-yard loss. And it was Bob Grant, number 51, and Roy Hilton, number 85, the Colts, who made the tackle. In the defensive secondary for Baltimore, the cornerbacks are Charlie Stoops, number 47, Tom Maxwell, number 42, Jerry Logan, number 20, and Rick Vogt, number 21, are the safeties. We have no score. We have just started the ball game. Kansas City in possession with something of a march moving from their own 36. Have it now, 2nd down and 13 as Dawson goes to the air for the first time. He's going for Richardson. He's got it. He's got a touchdown. 48 yards, and Kansas City is on the board.
Let's take a look at Richardson. Richardson just took off on a fly pattern. There must have been a mix-up in the defensive secondary. But it seemed like that way. If it wasn't, Stooks just missed him because he ran right by him. Logan came over to try to cover deep, but he couldn't get there. Dawson feels like he has to run. That was his first pass of the night. Not a bad way to start it.
All right, Stenerud will try for the point out of Dawson's hold. It is good. And so the Kansas City Chiefs jump out in front over the Baltimore Colts 7-0 here at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
At Hertz, we're not merely in the business of renting cars. We're in the business of helping people travel. If you're on vacation and going sightseeing, we'll tell you what sights are worth seeing. We'll give you maps and survival manuals. We'll help you with where to eat, where to stay, perhaps what clothes to bring. We give you all this and special vacation rates. For $99, we'll rent you a Ford and let you drive as far as you like for a week without any extra mileage charge. If helping helps, saving money certainly doesn't hurt.
John Stenerud will kick off for Kansas City as the Chiefs go 64 yards in 4 plays and get on the board to lead 7-0. Number 35 is Jim Duncan, and number 30 is Ron Gardine, the return men for the blue-clad Baltimore Colts. Stenerud's kick, as usual, deep. And the Colts will take it 1st and 10 at their 20. Let's take another look in slow motion at the touchdown. Don Meredith?
In talking to Dawson earlier today, he felt that when he was on this side of the field, or this hash mark, the zone would be away. He said, we can get deep on Baltimore. We'll have to go into the short side. Again, I think it was a missed assignment because Stooks was standing there kind of looking back at the quarterback, and Richardson just ran right by him. Logan almost made the play. It was a good throw, and Kansas City is now out in front 7-0.
Let's see what Johnny Unitas can do about it. 1st down 10, Baltimore at their 20. That's Norm Bulash. Fumble! Baltimore recovers. Bulash hit hard. Gary Hill, who is in the ball game, replacing the injured Tom Matty, and in the ball game primarily to block for Johnny Unitas, fell on the ball. Aaron Brown was the man who blistered Bulash and knocked him loose. Second down and about 11 for Baltimore from their 19. Unitas' pass is away. The intended receiver fell down. It's intercepted by Johnny Robinson back at the 35, and Robinson is dropped at the 24. Roy Jefferson, the intended receiver, fell, and he went right into the hands of Robinson. We'll take another look.
Take a look at it. I think he did fall down. The pass is just a little bit high. You can see Marcellus. Jefferson made a good move to get inside. He did fall down. I think the pass would have been a little bit high anyway. And Robinson, in the free safety position, well, he's recognized as the best that there is, especially in the American Football Conference. He's picked them off like that for about 10 years.
Johnny brought it back 14 yards. Call it the 25-yard line. It's just inside the 25. Lenny Dawson is the quarterback with Hayes and Garrett behind him. And it's Mike Garrett slipping and getting to the line of scrimmage.
Hit first by Miller.
That's Johnny Robinson on the bench. There's a theory around that the free safety, who has to be a helpmate to the cornerback, has to be Swift. And, of course, it's good if he is Swift. But Robinson, an advanced veteran, belies that theorem. Above all, what a free safety must have is knowledgeability, quick diagnosis of the opponent's offense, and position.
Second down. Call it 9. Give Mike Garrett 1 yard on the last play. Richardson wide to the right. Garrett moved too soon in the Kansas City backfield. The penalty flags all over the field. Gain on the play about a yard. Billy Ray Smith leading the tacklers for Baltimore.
Might not be necessarily the time to mention this, but Dawson mentioned this to me earlier. He said Baltimore has to be one of the most difficult stadiums to play in because of the crowd noise. And I don't know whether that was what drew Garrett off. He may not have heard the signal, but it is a stadium that has been recognized through the league as one of the most difficult stadiums to play in because of the crowd noise. And Dawson says they have condensed their number of audibles for this game because of that very reason.
And there has not been an empty seat here in this stadium for a Colt football game since 1963. The Colts accepting the penalty, make it 2nd down and 14 for Kansas City. Dawson has it to throw. Hilton after him. The pass is incomplete. The pass intended for Wendell Hayes, one of the backs coming out of the backfield.
Heavy pressure there from number 74, another gifted veteran, Billy Ray Smith.
I remember playing against Smith, and I'll tell you, they can say what you want to, but you can scare quarterbacks. And you look at Billy Ray across that line, and he's mad, and he's mean, and he's blowing. We played up here one time. It was real cold, ice and everything, and you sit there, and he's breathing, and this smoke comes out of his mouth. And I said, Billy Ray, he's a good football player.
3rd down and 14 for Kansas City. The ball is at the Baltimore 29-yard line. Dawson still has it. He swings it to Warren McVeigh, who was sent into the ball game at a running back position, and McVeigh is downed at the Baltimore 22-yard line. It was Fred Miller, number 76, and Jerry Logan who made the tackle for Baltimore. And that, of course, brings into the lineup and onto the field number 3, Jan Stenerud of Kansas City. Now, the ball is at the 21-yard line. And from that point, Mr. Stenerud is deadly. His history shows that he is most successful from that distance. 17 out of 21 outside the 20-yard line. It is history, and this one is through the upright. And so the Kansas City Chiefs build their lead on a cool night in Baltimore, Maryland. With timeout, our score, the Kansas City Chiefs 10, the Baltimore Colts nothing.
Nice shot.
I've made better. Want to play?
I came to play Wisconsin Skinny.
That's me. What's your game?
Skittleful.
You a hustler?
Nope, salesman.
Break.
Salesman, huh? What do you sell? Skittleful. Skittleful by Aurora. It's a lot of fun.
Jim Duncan, number 35. Gardine, number 30, deep for Baltimore. Kansas City with 9 minutes and 16 seconds to play in the first quarter, leading 10-0 on this man's 28-yard field goal. And he'll kick it off. The Chiefs getting the jump in the first quarter. He hits it deep into the corner to Duncan. This time Duncan will come out with it. And he comes well. He is beyond the 25. Baltimore's ball. 1st and 10 at their own 27. Jim Duncan.
Ordinarily, it wouldn't be a good move to run a kickoff back from that deep in the end zone. But, you know, Kansas City looks as if they're so used to seeing Stenerud kick them so deep, folks don't run them back too often. And I think they kind of held up a little bit about the 30. Pretty good run back.
Duncan brought it back 33 yards, so it was indeed a fine run back. Johnny Unitas remains at quarterback. Bulash and Hill set behind him. It's Bulash. Lynch has got him, slows him down, and then comes Brown, then comes Lanier, then comes Bell, and Jerry Mays.
That pretty well covers him up.
I think so. Loss is back to the 24-yard line. Second down and 13. Bulash has lost 6 yards in 3 carries. He was the top draft choice for the Colts as Unitas goes to throw. Has time. He goes over the middle, and the pass intended for tight end John Mackey is incomplete, and Johnny Robinson almost had another one. As Howard Cosell pointed out in conversation with Johnny Unitas at the beginning tonight, the story around has been that Johnny does not have as much on the ball, especially the pass outside 25, 30 yards. But I wouldn't want to bet a nickel on it. The center is Bill Curry, Georgia Tech. Hinton and Jefferson, wide receivers, both spread to the right side as Unitas goes to throw, and he's going down the sideline for Jefferson. Roy's got it.
That one was right on the money. Actually, they were up on both of them pretty close. You'll see Thomas with Jefferson. Unitas throws the ball just as he comes out of his break. Roy Jefferson, number 87, makes a great move. Thomas almost tipped it away. Perfect throw. Nice move, good catch. Go to the next play.
17-yard pickup on the play. First down, Baltimore at their own 42. Chiefs are leading 10-0 in the first quarter. 7:59 to play, and Bulash, the big rookie running back, carries to the 45.
Tackle by Cope.
Curly Cope and Buck Buchanan make the tackle.
Second down.
And Hank Stram, who will walk 15 miles probably before this game is over. Second down and 7. Baltimore at their own 45.
Come on up, man.
That's Bulash. He's got 2, maybe 3 yards before he runs into Jim Kearney coming over the top, and Curly Culp on the bottom with Jerry May.
Big Boo, they call him, Keith, the #1 draft choice for the Colts from TCU. Funny story, he came up with his agent to negotiate with Don Klosterman, the Colts general manager. The agent said, "Don, this dog's ready to hunt." And he patted Klosterman on the knee, and I'll finish the story after the play.
The ball is at the 48. Third down, they need 3. Unitas will throw it. He throws to Bulash. He is hit by Lynch, but not before the big kid from Texas picks up the first down.
And just to finish the story, Klosterman made his offer, and the agent looked at Don, no longer patted him on the knee, and said, "Don, this dog ain't gonna hunt." But they reconciled.
The advance is to the 46-yard line, Kansas City territory, the first penetration of Kansas City country by the Colts so far in the game. We have 6:20 to play, first quarter. Chiefs lead 10-0.
That agent could have been Abe Martin, the ex-coach of TC. He talks like that.
Unitas will throw it. No, he gives it off on the delay. Up the middle goes Bulash. He weighs 200 and some odd pounds, like 220, and he hits hard.
He's got muscles on muscles. His problem has been a whole series of nagging injuries throughout his intercollegiate career. In his very first couple of days in training camp this year, he pulled a hamstring, but he appears to be fine now.
He was brought down by Curly Culp and Aaron Brown on that play. He picked up 3 yards.
Talk about muscles on muscles. Unitas says, "I sure would hate to see you quit, Meredith." And I said, "Why?" I thought he was going to say, something nice. He said, "You're the only guy in the league that had skinnier legs than I do."
That's true, too.
Yeah, I know it.
Second down, 7. Ball is at the Kansas City 43. Unitas under pressure gets his pass away. A beautiful move by Jefferson as he just flat-whipped Marcellus.
Take another look at this one. Jefferson's running a good pattern. This appears to be a takeoff or a fly route. You can see Unitas set and throw. He looks back. Wow, he got one right in the nose from Marcellus and came back. The ball was a little bit low, but it's close enough. Made a good catch. First down for Baltimore.
And, Don, I think you want to point out that that bump between the two was perfectly legal.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a Baltimore first down at the Kansas City 32-yard line. The Colts are moving. Bulash. Willie Lanier has him from the back.
Yeah, that's the first time he's run to that right side. I was been interested to, or been watching this. He's run right at Buchanan and Brown, and that's the first time he's gone to the right side over there. You never can tell what their game plan is. A lot of times they got to go with their bigger men. Buchanan and Brown have been noted to be a little more difficult to run against, but that time he went to the right. The old partner Jerry Mays and Curly Cuff.
2nd down and 8 for Baltimore, right near the Kansas City 30. Unitas, a little quick pop over the middle to John Mackey, the big tight end, and Mackey bulls his way down to what appears to be a first down, or very close to it, right about the 21, maybe inside the 22, but it's right down in first down territory.
You know, Unitas does that so well, it looks as if it might be a play that was called in the huddle, but actually he read the middle linebacker blitzing up the middle, and when he's gone, you can see Mackey came right where he was, and automatically he throws right over the center to Mackey.
And what a player Mackey is. A lot of, you know, he's been rated the best tight end ever to play the game, but he has been behind in his training. He was all involved leading the NFL Players Association in that pension hassle. And a lot of people were so quick to say that maybe Mackey isn't so great as once he was. But I suspect watching him tonight, you'll see he is John Mackey as he was.
And he's out of the game for a breather right now as Tom Mitchell comes in at tight end, and the handoff goes to the big Boulash, and Big Boo jams it in for the first down as he goes to the 18. You know, Tom Mitchell was supposed to be hurt, hobbling around on an ankle all week, but here he is, full of exuberance, into the ball game as they went to the 2 tight ends for the power play up the middle.
They always put in the 2 tight ends when they're inside the 20. Don McCafferty, the coach of the Baltimore Colts.
Mark it on the 17-yard line. Baltimore's ball, first down. Hill and Boulash remain the setback. This time, Jerry Hill, the thumper from Wyoming, gets it, and he takes it to the 14-yard line.
Unitas is doing exactly what he wanted to do, Dandy Don, establish the ground game. That'll make his passing game doubly effective, obviously.
This drive's certainly been a lot more effective than their first 2 attempts. Seems like they were a little hesitant in their running and their blocking in the middle. You know, Kansas City has a way of doing that to the people they play. They're probably the biggest people in football.
There the clock, did you see the time remaining? And Baltimore comes up, 2nd down and 7 at the 14-yard line. Kansas City's 14. The Colts are on the move. Unitas to throw. Oh, no chance. Bobby Bell blitzing. Got him hard.
Oh.
What a player that Bell is. He's been talked about so many times, and it's been said so often. He could play any position and be a star. One of the extraordinary athletes of our time.
Lost is back outside the 22-yard line. I remember him at Minnesota, Howard. He was some kind of ferocious when he played college football. Dominant.
Let's take a look at it right quick. Bell comes up in bluffs a blitz, but there really wasn't anybody there to block him. And that does hurt.
3rd down and 15 for the Baltimore Colts. And Baltimore now takes too much time, and they will lose 5 more.
That's too bad. That's kind of unusual.
This telecast, presented by authority of the Baltimore Colts Football Club, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Baltimore Colts Football Club and the National Football League is prohibited.
From the 27.
3rd down and 20. Baltimore. Ball is back at the 27. Unitas to throw. Looking for Jefferson. It was considered a fumble. And Kansas City comes up with a football.
That's exactly right. The official adjudged that the arm was not moving forward, in which case it would have been adjudged to be a forward pass incomplete. Since it was not moving forward, it was a fumble and ruled accordingly.
And Kansas City has the football, 1st and 10, at their own 26-yard line.
It looked as if Jim Marcellus was injured on that last play. I saw him limp off.
NFL Monday Night Football continues from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, with a score of the Kansas City Chiefs 10, Baltimore Colts nothing.
Here's America's answer to the great European road cars. But how does a great European road car designer feel about it?
Yeah, guess the queen. Over here, sir. Our new Mustang Grande, the elegant one.
Elegante, mucho grande.
One of 6 completely new Mustangs for 71.
Sí. Oh, grande, hi.
That long sloping hood is something, eh? This year's Mustang has a wider stance for better handling.
Aquí. Some of that funnel roof line, eh?
Oh, yes, sir. It's one of 3 unique roof lines Mustang has, and with an optional rear window defroster. It's all new and just about as plush as you can get. New thin shell bucket seats. Side guardrail. A choice of 6 engines.
Oh. Yes, aquí. Okay, senor, the price. Okay, here, the price. Okay. Senorita, stop dancing. The price. You're full of me. Senorita, start dancing.
Mustang 71, America's first great road car.
Hey, caballero, won't she give you a better idea, see?
Take another look.
Take a look at this one.
Gave him the ball.
Does have a pass call. He comes back. He gets some pressure from the inside. Ruling on this, if the arm is in the motion or the forward motion of a pass, it's considered a forward pass. This is a fumble. Marcellus picks it up. You'll see Curry come across.
That time it was Aaron Brown, as you saw, number 87, who applied the pressure and forced the fumble.
Kansas City ball, 1st and 10, 26. Warren McVeigh, number 6. And McVeigh is hit by Mike Curtis, number 32, middle linebacker for Baltimore. There's Jimmy Marcellus, who recovered the fumble and stopped the Baltimore drive.
Marcellus represents another old theory in pro football. They used to say you couldn't win a title with a rookie cornerback, but Marcellus, as a rookie last year in a key man, belied that theory.
No gain on the previous play. 2nd down, 10, Kansas City. They're 26. Lenny Dawson, the quarterback. Warren McVeigh has it, and his feet are cut out from under him as he comes up across the 27, maybe gets to the 28-yard line. Fred Miller, the tackle. Watch the Mod Squad tomorrow night, 7:30, 6:30 Central Time here on ABC. Don McCafferty, the head coach of the Baltimore Colts, in his first season. He succeeded Don Shula. It's 3rd down and 9 for Kansas City at their 27. Number 30, Gloucester Richardson, wide to the right. Frank pitch to the left. They go to the ground and give it to McVeigh. And a nice move by Warren McVeigh, and he is close to a 1st down.
That was a super move by McVeigh.
Mike Curtis made the tackle. And we have come to the end of the 1st quarter here at Memorial Stadium. Our score, Kansas City 10, Baltimore nothing.
Now, a new studded Town & Country winter tire you can put on all 4 wheels of your car to really improve your stopping ability on ice. With just 2 new Firestone Town & Country studded tires on the rear, you still stop. And you've stopped a lot quicker than with just 2 ordinary studded winter tires on the rear. Firestone's new asymmetrical Town & Country tire with 112 safety studs, available where laws permit, gives us more reasons than ever to say you go through ice, mud, or snow, or we pay the toll.
If anybody tells you that ordinary snow tires are as good as Firestone's new asymmetrical Town & Country's, tell him he's all wet.
Look for the new asymmetrical Town & Country winter tire from Firestone, the mileage specialist.
We start the 2nd quarter of play with Kansas City leading Baltimore by a score of 10-0. Lenny Dawson, the quarterback of the Chiefs, and his statistical story in the 1st quarter. The Chiefs had 10 offensive plays in the 1st period, Baltimore 19. But a fumble stopped the Baltimore drive at the close of the 1st period, and here we go with Kansas City owning the football. Dawson wants to go deep, and he does go deep for Richardson. It's intercepted. by Jerry Logan back at the 21-yard line.
Looks like that was just a little bit underthrown. Let's take a look at it. You've got Richardson trying to split the middle again. You've got Logan and Stukes back. Logan looks back. The ball was a little bit short. He made a very good interception. Terry Logan,
who was the leading interceptor on this Baltimore club last year with 4. He's been a standout football player in the Colts secondary. Call it the 22-yard line. A handoff to Boulash, and he takes it up to the, I'll get it right yet, to the 23-yard line. Mike Garrett getting some medical attention.
He's a tough, slippery kid. He'll be back very quickly. That interception by Logan was, I think, Dandy, a perfect example of how the free safety can help the corner, helping Stukes there.
Did a good job.
Ball is just short of the 23. Call it 2nd down and 9, Baltimore. Johnny Unitas gets his pass away for Jefferson. It's picked off by Kearney, or Robinson. It's Johnny Robinson, again the free safety, making his presence felt in the secondary. Robinson got it. Kearney was right there to help him.
He's trying to go to Jefferson again. Jefferson comes across the middle. Robinson was just playing it. Robinson plays the quarterback as well as he can, and I can't emphasize how well he does play it. I don't think John saw him then. John followed the receiver all the way through, and Robinson was playing the free safety position again and just cut across in front of Jefferson and picked it off, put him in great field position.
Call it the 13-yard line. 1st down and 10. Robinson's intercepted 2 for a total of 41 yards in run back. Lenny Dawson rolling out. Gets his pass away. Holmes, touchdown!
Touchdown. How many times do you see after a turnover, the other team takes it in for a score? You'll see Holmes, number 45, come out of the backfield. It's a play-action pass. Talking to Dawson today, he said the play-action pass was best on 1st down. Here's a 1st down, the moving or the floating pocket. He throws it right over the head, and a good catch by Holmes as Holmes catches it falling into the end zone.
And Bobby was shaken up on the play and has left the field. Stenerud will try the point out of Dawson's hold. It's good. 13 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the first half. We have a timeout of the score. The Kansas City Chiefs 17, Baltimore nothing.
The brand of spark plugs you use can change the mileage you get out of your gas. 2 professional golf champions are going to prove it.
Just watch Julius Boris.
And Tom Weisskopf.
We drive off in identical Chevys with measured amounts of gas.
The only difference is spark plug. Julie's got champions, and I've got good old brand X.
What's the matter, Tom? Run out of gas?
You know it.
Look, I got way past 17.
Julie, here's where I get even. This time I've got the champion. That's me again.
By the way, Tom, my throttle was mechanically controlled. All I did was steer.
Same here, old buddy. Only this time, I'm one up.
You mean champions are one up? Take our word for it. Champions make a difference.
You'd better believe it.
That's why over 20 million drivers and 2 golfers have switched to Champions from other brands. Check it out for yourself. Champions can make a difference.
Jim Duncan, number 35, one of the deep receivers for Baltimore. Number 30 is Ron Gardine. The kicker for Kansas City, Jan Stenerud. The Kansas City Chiefs leading 17-0 with 13 minutes, 42 seconds to play in the first half. He hit it hard into about a 15-mile-an-hour wind, and for the second time tonight, Stenerud has hit the goalpost, and that one went over. The statistical story in the first half, as you can see. The Kansas City Chiefs In the first quarter, 29 yards on the ground against 14 for the Colts. Actually close as far as total yards were concerned. Offensive plays, Baltimore had the edge, but the Chiefs have the big margin on the board of 17-0, and Bullock has it. And not much room, 2 yards on the left side.
I ran into Willie Lanier's father today in the hotel, and he can't be more than about 5'5" or 5'6". I wonder what his mother looks like.
Well, Willie's not too tall.
Oh, he's tough.
Advance the ball to the 23-yard line. Call it second down, long 7, as Unitas fades to throw. He throws for Mackey, and Kearney had his hands on it. Marsalis and Robinson all there, and it's incomplete. Unitas completed 5 of 12 attempts for 58 yards, and he's had 2 picked off. The man holds 8 National Football League, Pro Football League records. 8 set in the National Football League. 6 All-Pro records. Third down, Baltimore, 7. Pass is incomplete. The pass intended for Eddie Hinton, number 33. Emmett Thomas, the cornerback, knocked it loose.
Let's take a look at Hinton. Hinton is running a turn-in or a curl pattern. John, of course, sets up very strong, throws the ball back. You have to say that maybe he dropped it or maybe Thomas came through on the other side, and this is a defensive move. Here's the punt.
Lee.
Wow.
It's a beauty. It comes to Ed Podolak at the 24-yard line. Look out. Podolak is finally caught by Duncan at the Kansas City 49-yard line.
This is a fired-up Kansas City team, having lost to Minnesota as Minnesota got its revenge for the Super Bowl a week ago. The Chiefs came into this game feeling virtually it was life or death. I've never seen a more tense coach than Hank Stram before the game. He said, we've got to win it.
Timeout. Score. The Kansas City Chiefs 17. Baltimore Colts nothing.
Billy Hardwick, the man who's won more professional tournaments in 1 year than any other bowler in history. Billy puts it this way. You've got to have real desire and dedication about anything you do if you're going to do it right. It's the same with Miller High Life. We've dedicated over 115 years to brewing the best beer there is. Miller makes it right.
Dziecinną twarz. Ty masz tak śliczną, gładziutką persona twarz.
She's a baby face. I have got a smooth persona baby face.
Ależ naprawdę nie ma drugiego, który by wziął twoje
There
miejsce.
is not another can take my place.
Dziecinna twarz.
Baby face.
Moje biedne serduszko tak skacze.
Her poor heart is jumping.
Persona zaczęła naprawdę coś ślicznego.
Persona sure has started
Ty
something.
masz tak...
Baby your face. Get the baby face shave. Only from Persona.
12 minutes and 41 seconds to play in the first half. Kansas City's ball, 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Podolak returned that punt 24 yards. McVeigh and Wendell Hayes are the setback. Arbanis off the power eye, the tight end, moving into his normal position. The handoff to McVeigh up the middle. Volk coming from the secondary to make the tackle. And he moved the ball to the Baltimore 42-yard line.
What a great trade Hank Stram made to get little Warren McVeigh out of Houston. He had been, if you'll recall, with Cincinnati. And Stram traded Horst Muhlman, the place kicker now, for the Bengals to Cincinnati in exchange for McVeigh. Stram, of course, protected with the incomparable Stenerud.
Gain of 9 by McVeigh up the middle. 2nd down, 1, Kansas City, Baltimore 42. Hayes the first down as he ran to the Baltimore 37-yard line. Fred Miller, the tackle. Number 81 going into the ball game for Baltimore is Billy Newsom, big defensive end, a rookie from Grambling, another fella from Grambling. The Chiefs are leading 17-0. The clock running, 11.5 minutes to go in the first half. Again, the tight end shifts out of the backfield. Richardson, number 30, goes wide to the right. Hand off to McVeigh. He was hit by Bubba, but spun away from him, and then he was greeted hard at the line of scrimmage. And coming up out of the secondary was number 20, Jerry Logan.
Second and 9.
Big Bubba, number 78. Billy Ray Smith, number 74. A short yard on the preceding play. Make it 2nd down and 9 as Dawson looks to McVeigh, hits him. And Warren is out of bounds. Inside the Baltimore 25. They'll mark it at the 23, first down, Kansas City.
First down, Kansas City from the 23-yard line.
Mr. Dawson throwing to the backs. There's a lot of people that thought he might. But you can know it and sometimes not be able to do much about it. 10 minutes, 40 seconds to go. First half. Kansas City leading 17-0. They're on the march. First down at the Baltimore 23. Wendell Hayes. Fumble. How about that?
I thought he had scored.
Hayes fumbled it on the goal line, and Baltimore recovered. Grant and Volk were both down and covering the ball with Tom Maxwell.
Here he comes, the end zone carry. This is a draw play. You'll see Curtis go to his left. A good block by Buddy on Billy Ray Smith. And Wendell Hayes comes right up the middle. Got a lot of running room. He picks up. There he comes back, right him. Volk misses it the first time. Falls on it later.
It was Maxwell who knocked the ball loose at the goal line. First down, Baltimore at the 20. Goulash hit at the line of scrimmage. He'll get 1 yard. Bobby Bell and Jerry Mays, the tackle.
Second down and 9.
It was the second effort by Hayes. Actually, in that case, the third effort that probably cost him the football as he tried to batter his way across the goal line. Second down and 9, Baltimore at their 21. Hill and Goulash set behind Unitas. Johnny to throw. He gets his pass away intended for Mackey, and a fine play by middle linebacker Willie Lanier.
By Willie Lanier.
Lanier, the middle linebacker, drops straight back. He's watching the linebacker, makes a very good, quick move to his left. The ball was on target. Mackey was right behind him. Lanier's intercepted several passes in his career, run 2 or 3 of them back for touchdowns.
Unitas is now 5 for 14 in passing. 9:50 to go, first half. Kansas City leading 17-0. Third down, 9. Baltimore, they're on 21. Unitas to throw. He looks for Perkins down the left side, throws instead for Jefferson, and the pass is incomplete.
Fourth down and 9.
Number 75 walking off is John Williams, offensive guard. Johnny Unitas coming off now, 5 for 15. Into the game to punt, Dave Lee. Willie Mitchell and Ed Podolak are the deep men for Kansas City. Lee hits it at the 11-yard line. He did not get all of it, but he had pretty good distance. And it'll roll dead. The ball is grabbed by Robbie Nichols of Baltimore, a rookie from Tulsa.
On their own 34-yard line.
Kansas City will have the ball, 1st and 10 at their 33-yard line. And we have a timeout with 9:36 remaining to score. Kansas City 17, Baltimore nothing.
Catherine and McKee.
Is making a gallon of a low-lead gasoline really as simple as this? Just leaving out most of the lead? No, because your engine might knock. So we're going to add to the natural high-octane ingredients. Now, 9 out of 10 drivers can use it without harmful engine knock. But a clean air gasoline should do more. So we add a double measure of detergent. That reduces exhaust emissions caused by dirty engines, and it does something else. It improves mileage. Now you have a low-lead gasoline, plus a high-octane gasoline, plus a cleaner engine gasoline, plus a better mileage gasoline. SO Big Plus, priced below most major premiums. The lowest lead, highest octane gasoline for the money. Big Plus. It's not only what we took out, it's what we put in.
Nine minutes and 35 seconds to play in the first half. Kansas City has the ball, 1st and 10, just outside the 33-yard line, their own 33. The Chiefs scored in the first quarter on a 65-yard, 4-play drive. Lead 7-0. Stenerud hit a 28-yard field goal, 10-0. Dawson a 13-yard pass to Holmes. That's where we are, 17-0. Let's see what the Chiefs do. Richardson, number 30, and Pitts, number 25, wide receivers, both wide to the left. They give it off up the middle to McVay, and McVay, who is a terror tonight. Fumble! Baltimore's got it. Bob Grant on the football for the Colts.
I don't think I've ever seen so many good plays turn out bad. Here's a great move by McVay as he does come in. There's a good lead block on Curtis. He's very shifty. Now, he's swinging that ball out there. He's not supposed to do that. And right there is where somebody pulls it loose. And I'm sorry I missed it. Pulled it loose and fell on it.
It was Grant, the linebacker. 46-yard line, Baltimore, first down. Unitas looking for the big one. Goes to Bulash. It is incomplete. Jim Lynch covered for Kansas City.
Covering on the play.
And there's the unhappy Warren McVay. And the man he replaced in the backfield, Mike Garrett. 2nd down 10, Baltimore at the Kansas City 46 with 9:07 to go in the first half. The Chiefs are leading 17-0. Curry, the center for Baltimore. Hill, 45, Bulash, 36, the setback. Jefferson and Hinton, the wide receivers. Unitas get away from Aaron Brown, but Brown recovers and comes back to get him.
Brett, you can see the forearm shot on Vogel, and he brought Vogel back with him. Here's the quickness of a guy who's Aaron Brown, 6'7", 255 pounds. Quite a football player.
And 22.
Warren McVay very upset over having lost the ball after a substantial gain. The loss is back to the Baltimore 42-yard line. It's 3rd down and about 22 as Unitas fades to throw, and no chance. No chance. That's Brown again.
Here's another look at Aaron Brown on Vogel. Bulash actually picked up the wrong man there, too. Bulash, number 36, is to protect John from the outside. This is where quarterbacks really get hurt. Brown made a great move to get around and hit John from the backside.
And obviously that brings up a kicking down, and Dave Lee hits a beauty of a spiral, and it drives Podolak all the way back to his 15-yard line. But the big boy from Iowa fights his way back to the 27, where Kansas City will have it 1st and 10. Right here, let's pause 5 seconds to allow local stations to identify themselves. Eight minutes, 16 seconds to go in the first half. First quarter, Kansas City went out on top 7-0, 65-yard, 4-play drive. Then Jan Stenerud kicked the 28-yard field goal, 10-0 Kansas City, a 13-yard pass, Dawson to Holmes at 17-0. Each club has had a drive stop. Now Kansas City has it back. And the handoff is in the middle, and certainly not very much room for Fred Miller steps in on Bobby Holmes and just ate him up. They'll advance it 1 yard for Holmes. Bring up 2nd down and 9. The Colts have had 30 offensive plays so far in the game. The Chiefs 20. But the Chiefs have 17 points and the Colts none. It's McVay and Holmes. Pitts and Richardson are the wide men. Urbanus the tight end. E.J. Holub the center. Bobby Holmes. It was Newsom, number 81, that made first contact for Baltimore and spoiled the play. Billy Newsom. Bubba Smith came in to finish it.
For that draw play to be effective, the play has to really look like a pass, and that one really didn't much look like a pass all the way, and they did read it and smothered him up pretty good.
Mike Garrett, whose spirits are improving as time goes on. Of course, he enjoys the 17-point bowls. Mike's a great team man, always has been. 3rd down and 5 now for Kansas City. Ball is just outside the 22. Dawson gives it away inside to McVay, and nothing. Curtis is there. Miller is there. And Ted Hendricks, number 83.
Watch the blitz. You've got 83 Hendricks coming in. He's reading the play all along. It was a blitz. Curtis 32 came through on the other side. Hendricks and Curtis wrapped him up. They tried 3 straight draw plays, none of which seemed to work.
Gerald Wilson will punt for Baltimore. Ron Gardine, the deep man for Baltimore. As Wilson hits it, spiral. Gardine takes it. And they ruled that he had called fair catch. Apparently he started to call, then decided not to. The ball is put down just shy of the 40-yard line. So this rookie from Arizona, plenty exciting when he gets a chance to run. At the 39, Baltimore, 1st down. Unitas, Bulash, Hill, Jefferson, Hinton, Mackey. The pass intended for Jefferson, and Roy cannot reach it. He was covered by Marsalis and the home crowd hooting. We noted last week in our football game from Cleveland that Johnny Unitas would be the first man to pass 20 miles in total pass completion. After duly checking through the previous records, the Baltimore office found that he had already passed 20 miles before we got to the ballpark tonight. So he is, in fact, the first man to throw the football 20 miles. That's Bulash. Fumble! Johnny Robinson's got it again. Touchdown!
Johnny Robinson's done it all tonight. There's 2 interceptions and a very alert fumble recovery. They're going to keep him around for another 10 years. I don't know how he knows how to get in the right place all the time, but he sure does. Johnny was, of course, a fine running back at LSU. Unitas missed a shot at him there to push him out of bounds, and he goes in for the score.
He traveled 46 yards. Stenerud's kick is good. We have 5 minutes and 19 seconds to play in the first half. And the Kansas City Chiefs, with a timeout, lead by a score of 24-0 on the 46-yard run back of the fumble by Johnny Robinson.
The only time Johnny Robinson was ever mixed up in his life, Don, if you'll remember, was when he got out of LSU during the days of the Pro Football War and signed with teams in both leagues.
Of course, that was a whole new era there, and there were just so many teams to sign with. Nobody else asked me.
This coming Saturday on ABC, NCAA college football, Alabama and Ole Miss from Jackson, Mississippi at 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time. The Crimson Tide coming back after the opening loss to USC, and Ole Miss undefeated in their 2 games. One of the great ones in college football Saturday. Here's the kickoff. It goes to Gardine at the 5-yard line. He brings it back to the 31. Willie Mitchell and Morris Stroud made the tackle for Kansas City. Earl Morrall has gone in at quarterback for Baltimore. Number 15, another 15-year veteran, Earl Morrall, is in at quarterback. Completes the pass to Jerry Hill. Hill is at the 42 at the Baltimore first down. So Earl Morrall, who came in relief of Johnny Unitas in 1968 and took this ball club to dizzy heights, is in the lineup right now. Hill, shaken on the play, has come off the field, and Sam Havrelak has gone in to replace him at running back. Havrelak is from Bucknell, number 17. Havrelak has the ball. He runs into Curly Culp in the middle of the line, and Willie Lanier.
While he didn't get the chance to show it on that play, Havrelak is a slashing runner and a superb athlete. They had wanted to try him at quarterback. He had been an effective quarterback at Bucknell, but once again, the pension strike delayed that plan. They think he's got a big future, either as a quarterback or a running back.
He gained 2. Up to the 44. Second down 8. Baltimore. Kansas City leading 24-0. 3:44 to play in the first half. Morrall to throw. Throws to Havrelak. Gets away from Johnny Robinson, and then he is bowled out of bounds. Lynch came across to make the play defensively for Kansas City. The advance is close to the 49-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
3rd down and 3. From the 49-yard line.
Buchanan, Mays, Culp along that front. Morrall back to throw, and Earl has no chance. Aaron Brown busting through along with Jerry Mays and Buck Buchanan. And the loss is all the way back inside the Baltimore 40-yard line. Watch this. Johnny Unitas hobbling on the sideline. One of the great statesmen of this sport, if you can call a football player a statesman. But this guy has been something in his brilliant career. The high pass to Lee on 4th down. Podolak at the 20. Penalty flag down, and a face mask call is coming up against Baltimore's Billy Newsom and Jim Duncan. One of the others grabbed him by the face mask. That's 15 big ones. Kansas City has the ball. First down. Right at their 36-yard line. Howard Cosell will have halftime highlights of some of the outstanding games played yesterday in the National Football League, and the time remaining you see. And there were some surprises, as you certainly know by now, in professional football yesterday. Next Monday night, we'll be in Detroit, the Chicago Bears and the powerful Detroit Lions. Lenny Dawson gives the ball to Warren McVay, and he is horse-collared by Mike Curtis up at the 44-yard line. He gained 8, second down 2 coming up.
Second down and 2. On the 44-yard line.
Next Monday, a pair of unbeaten, the Chicago Bears, going to Detroit against the Lions, who have been running wild. Arbanis, the tight end, coming off to the left side. Dawson, McVeigh, and Ted Hendricks, number 83, the All-American from Miami, made the tackle. No gain.
Third down and 2.
Bobby Holmes hurrying into the game. Bobby caught a touchdown pass from Lenny Dawson just a few minutes ago. Was shaken up, but he's back. And he replaces Warren McVeigh. So you've got a pair of baby bulls in the backfield, Holmes and Hayes. And we have come to the 2-minute mark in the first half. NFL Monday Night Football continues from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, with our score, Kansas City Chiefs 24, the Baltimore Colts 10.
A reminder, the home game originally scheduled with the Boston Patriots.
Did your last card turn you off? Drink too much gas? Cost too much money? Why gamble? This year, make yourself a Maverick. You can get 2 doors, a peppy 6-engine, simple service in the economy Maverick, and save a lot of money. Or you can make yourself a sporty economy Maverick with hood scoops, optional buckets, and sporty looks in the new Maverick Grabber, and save a lot of money. Or you can make yourself a family economy Maverick with 4 doors. More power if you want it. Extra room. You'll have the new family Maverick and save a lot of money. Why gamble? We've got 3 sure things for you. Make yourself a Maverick, the simple machine that always pays off. Ford gives you better ideas.
A minute 59 to go in the first half. Kansas City has the football. 3rd down and 2. The ball is at their 44-yard line. They have dominated the first half. They lead 24-0. Morris Stroud, number 88, is now in the lineup for Kansas City. Frank Pitts off to the right side, moving out of the backfield. And it's Wendell Hayes trying for the first down, and he is close to it. They will measure. The chain will come on the field for the measurement. Mike Garrett suffered a bruised knee early in the ball game, and he'll be held out of action until such time they are sure the injury is not serious. Howard Cosell's halftime highlights include Chicago, Philadelphia. There's Mike.
Tell him I wish I was in there. I need the yardage.
Yeah. Tell him I'm in there. I wish. He's that kind of a guy, you know. He'd go play on one leg if he had to. Washington, St. Louis, the Jets, Boston. Dallas and Giants will be featured at halftime. First down, as you saw, for Kansas City at their 46-yard line. Richardson back in. Wide right, Pitts wide left. Dawson to throw. Wants to go deep. Pitts is out there by himself. Touchdown.
Very good play action fake in the backfield, which momentarily froze the linebackers and defensive secondary. Pitts did make a good move to get behind them.
Rick Volk came across and made a futile bid to break the play, but he could not. And Frank Pitts was on the receiving end of a 54-yard pass-run play that makes it 30-0 Kansas City with 1 minute and 15 seconds to go in the first half. The point after try right now with Stinnerud. The kick is good. And so at 1:15 to go in the first half, Kansas City has bowled ahead to a 31-0 lead over the Baltimore Colts in the Colts home opener. There's the man who caught the touchdown pass. Coming up Saturday night on ABC at 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time, Archie Manning will lead the Ole Miss Rebels onto the field against the Alabama Crimson Tide, headed by Scott Hunter, two of the classiest quarterbacks in the country, bumping heads. And, of course, who can forget that 33-32 show they put on last year, and we expect more of the same Saturday night. That's Jim Duncan, number 35, standing in the end zone for Baltimore, and Ron Gardine, number 30, as Stenerud prepares to kick off for Kansas City. Oh, he rolls this one to the corner. Gardine gets a good bounce. Got a gravy bounce at the 9-yard line. But the white shirts get him at the 30. The clock stops, 1:09 to go in the first half. They mark the ball at the 31 as Gardine leaves the field.
First and 10 Colts on the 31.
The Kansas City Chiefs, who came into this ball game knowing they almost had to win, having lost their opener to Minnesota. They did not want to settle into the basement, have come on with fire and fury. And Earl Morrall is the quarterback now for the Colts. He goes to the air, and he hits Eddie Hinton. And Jim Lynch pounces on him at the 36-yard line, a gain of 5.
Tackled by Lynch.
It's Earl Morrall, the man who led Baltimore to the National Football League championship in 1968. Time remaining, 40 seconds. Next Monday night, Gale Sayers will lead the Chicago Bears into Detroit. And those Lions are really something this year. Gale Sayers, who has not seen much action so far this season for the Bears, is expected to play next Monday night for the Bears in Detroit. Earl Morrall, 3 for 3, 23 yards on second down 5, throw again. Over the middle for Hinton. Incomplete, and a penalty flag is on the field. And the penalty called back upfield near the line of scrimmage.
Flag downfield. It's when two offensive players touch the ball simultaneously. This is a penalty. It doesn't really necessitate yardage stepped off against the offensive team. It just means that it's illegal for two offensive players to tip the ball, like tip the ball and the other one to catch it. It would, if he had caught the ball, it would not have been a completion.
The defensive man made a swipe at it, but in the judgment of the official did not touch it. Third down, 5, Morrall, quarterback. Boulash back with him to block. Morrall's pass is away. It is caught by Hinton, and Hinton is dropped up on the 43-yard line.
You'll see Willie Mitchell, number 22, come with Hinton as he comes off the line. The ball is a little bit late, and I think they get in a little wrestling match over on the sideline. A completion, first down, and the Colts did call timeout.
With 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Number 88 going onto the field. John Mackey, the tight end. Ray Perkins comes back off the field. That's Johnny Unitas standing there bareheaded. Remember, Monday night, the Chicago Bears, undefeated, will be in Detroit against the unbeaten Detroit Lions. Gale Sayers expected to be able to go for the Bears on Monday, next Monday night. Roy Jefferson, number 87, wide to the right side. Earl Morrall back to throw. Goes over the middle. The pass is caught by Eddie Hinton. And Hinton is dragged down, and a penalty flag down, and it may get a face mask call here on the tackle. Willie Mitchell was there. Johnny Robinson was there, and that's exactly what we're going to get, face mask. So it'll cost 15 yards.
You'll see Hinton come across the middle this time. Again, that's Mitchell defending against him. There are two tight patterns ordinarily that you run in a 2-minute period. This is one across the middle, and they expect to call timeout. but after the completion. The other one was the play we saw before when he went to the outside. Hinton is still on his feet. Mitchell came back. And as Mitchell turned around, he did grab the face mask.
First down, Baltimore. At the Kansas City 27, Morrill to throw. Looks for Perkins over the middle. Ray's got it, heading for the flag. Kearney drags him down. They got him short of the goal line. From the 27-yard line, the ball is moved down to the 3-yard line. 24 yards on the play.
Kansas City is in a zone defense. They're all covering areas. They're not really covering man-to-man that much. And the crossing patterns that Earl has called with his 2 wide receivers is giving an opportunity to throw as they come across the middle. 3 seconds to go.
This started back on the 31-yard line for Baltimore. They have now moved it to the Kansas City 3-yard line.
They'll do good to get one play in here. I don't think a field goal is going to help them that much, so I'm sure you'll see some sort of a move to get them into the end zone. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't try to throw.
The field was moved some 30 yards to the north in order to protect the infield because the Baltimore Orioles, the American League Eastern champions, still have some games to play, a doubleheader tomorrow night. Earl Morrill, the quarterback, at the 3-yard line, first and goal. He looks for Mackey. He's running. He has nobody to throw to. He loops it back to Jefferson. And Jefferson made the catch in the end zone for the touchdown. Roy Jefferson.
A very good move by Earl. Kansas City knew they would probably have to throw. He sees the pressure coming from the outside. Jefferson was his #1 receiver. Marcellus had stayed with him as long as he could. This was just an adjustment to his pattern. And he came back for the touchdown.
And time has expired. Baltimore will go for the point. Jim O'Brien, the rookie from Cincinnati who won the ball game for the Colts last week in San Diego, will kick out of Morrill's hole for the extra point. And the kick is good. Coming up at halftime, highlights from National Football League action yesterday. And we have come to the end of the first half with our score, Kansas City 31, Baltimore 7. And we'll be back to take a look at the highlights of yesterday's NFL game with Howard Cosell right after this minute.
We're running the giant slalom in a car with a new kind of fiberglass belted snow tire, Sears Dynaglass, with a traction groove down the center to put the traction where most of a car's weight is, in the center of the tire, so it can start, stop, and hold the track on a run more treacherous than you'll ever make. Sears Dynaglass snow tires with a traction groove down the center. Available with studs. Only at Sears.
These cars are brand new. So are the batteries. Watch. After 4.5 hours of steady drain, only one battery can start a car. The Sears Die Hard outlasts the new car batteries. The Die Hard starts your car when most batteries won't. Sold only at Sears.
The Mod Squad makes the skydiving scene tomorrow night on ABC.
The score at halftime here at Baltimore Memorial Stadium is Kansas City 31, Baltimore 7. And as you've watched the contest, the domination by the Chiefs of the Colts has been little short of amazing, especially with Otis Taylor absent. But the Colts did give their fans something to cheer about, as you just witnessed with that last play touchdown as the half ended. Now tonight, in accordance with our weekly programming and our ABC NFL Primetime Football Series, At halftime, we're going to show you highlights of games that took place over the weekend. So let's begin with the Chicago Bears against the Philadelphia Eagles. Then we'll go to Detroit against Cincinnati, the Jets against the Patriots, and so on down the line. This is the stadium of Northwestern University where the Chicago Bears are about to go against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Bears in second period action with the ball. Jack Concannon, the quarterback, number 11, looking for and finding Mike Hull, his receiver. It's a 7-yard gain. The Bears are leading the Eagles at this point 10-9. Now watch this. Quick pitch out. Concannon to Ron Bull. Bull on the option pass play. Southpaws it to Dick Gordon, who's alone in the corner of the end zone. The conversion is good, and the Bears lead it 17-9. Now we're in the fourth period. The Eagles struggling to come back. That's rookie Lee Bogus. Wide on a sweep. Getting good blocking. Spinning away for an extra 2 yards from that tackler. He's gained 10, and the Eagles are coming back. Once again, the handoff is to Lee Bogus. Look at that hole in the middle. He spins away from that tackler, bursts through another, and the touchdown is scored. So is the conversion, and it's Chicago 17, Philadelphia 16. But the Bears add a field goal, and they win it 20-16. This is Tiger Stadium in Detroit. The Lions about to go against the Bengals. They dominate early. This is the second period. Already they're ahead 24-0. And the Bengals quarterback, Sam Whitesey, is blindsided by the safety blitz of Tommy Vaughn. Now Cincinnati must kick. Watch this play closely. The punt is made, and the ball is apparently about to roll dead, surrounded by Bengals. But no, the alert Lem Barney picks it up, skirts past the stunned Cincinnati defenders, goes down unhampered along the sidelines for 61 yards and a Lions score. That made it 31-0. The final, a 38-3 rout, Detroit over Cincinnati. These are the Boston Patriots. The place, Harvard Field, Cambridge, Massachusetts. The Jets have the ball against the Patriots. Namath hands off to Emerson Boozer, number 32. He scores. This is in the second period. That makes it Jets 14, Boston 7. Now we move to the third quarter. Mike Tolliver throwing for Bake Turner. The ball picked off on the Patriots' 36-yard line by Early Thomas, the rookie cornerback from Colorado State. And he jaunts in for the touchdown. That made it 28-7. Still, Tolliver tried to bring the Patriots back. This is a piece of extraordinary individual effort by number 34, Ron Sellers. The ball has been touched by Steve Cannon, number 21. Sellers picked it off for the touchdown. What a player he is from Florida State. But the final score, Jets 31 and Boston 21. This is Busch Stadium, St. Louis. The Washington Redskins against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Redskins getting an early 10-0 lead. Jim Hart, number 17, Cardinal quarterback, trying to bring his ball club back. Unable to find a receiver. Moves on downfield. That is violent. Jim Hart was hurt, had to leave the ball game. His place taken by number 10, Pete Beathard, who came from Houston in an off-season deal. On the very next play, after the Hart injury, Beathard hands off to MacArthur Lane. Gets the blocking, gets the hole, bursts through. Cardinals score, make the extra point. They trail 10-7. Now we've got a minute 32 left in the half. Same score. And Pete Beathard passes to Johnny Rowland for the touchdown. The point after is blocked. The Cardinals lead 13-10. Now we're in the third quarter. Sonny Jurgensen passing, but Miller Foreign, number 20, coming to St. Louis in that same deal that brought them Pete Beathard. Takes it 19 yards on the interception, and the Cardinals lead 20-10. We've got 4:20 left now in the third period. St. Louis moves in for another score, a 1-yard plunge by MacArthur Lane. So it's 27-10. Cardinals declined a penalty on that play. The final score, St. Louis 27, Washington 17. We're back at Baltimore Memorial Stadium. The halftime score speaks for itself, 31-7. The Chiefs over the Colts, though Earl Morrall did bring the Colts back with a touchdown on the very final play of the half. And we'll be back with more NFL action right after this message.
This is Marlboro country. As long as men smoke for flavor, there'll always be a Marlboro country.
Colts back with a touchdown on the very final play of the half. And we'll be back with more NFL action right after this message.
This is Marlboro country. As long as men smoke for flavor, there'll always be a Marlboro country.
Cotton Bowl, Dallas, Texas. Tom Landry, Dallas coach to your right. Big Red Webster, Giant coach to your left. Now the action. The Giants are leading 3-0 in the second quarter. Fran Tarkenton stumbling but throwing downfield. And hitting number 88, Aaron Thomas, just 1 yard short of the goal line. Subsequently, Ron Johnson runs it in to give the Giants a 10-0 lead. Now you're looking at action in slow motion in the third period. Walt Garrison taking the ball on that pitch out, going around right end, moving in for a touchdown as he gets beautiful blocking and takes advantage of it, cutting back ever so slightly. This one gives Dallas the lead 14-10 because earlier Roger Staubach, the Dallas quarterback, had himself run one in for the score. Now we're midway in the fourth quarter. Watch this. You won't believe it. A double reverse. Lance Rensel, the great wide receiver who was a quarterback in high school, with the ball, throwing long and finding Bob Hayes. The Giants outwitted. Hayes makes the touchdown, and Dallas leads it 21-10. 22 seconds left in the game now. Staubach is passing. Again to Bob Hayes, back in the good graces of Tom Landry. Dallas wins it 28-10. Green Bay, Wisconsin, where so many memories are inevitably revived. 15, Bart Starr, faking the Donnie Anderson. Now throwing. Hitting the gifted veteran Carroll Dale. And Dale goes in. Green Bay takes the lead over the Atlanta Falcons 7-0. Once again, it's Green Bay. Star to Donnie Anderson. Anderson moves in for the score. This was action just before the end of the half, and Green Bay was leading 20-3. But Atlanta comes back. This is the rookie, Sonny Campbell. He scores for Atlanta, and with the extra point, it became 20-10. Now we're midway through the fourth period, and Atlanta is storming back. It's 20-17 at this point, and Bob Berry hits Todd Snyder. Atlanta moves ahead 24-20. Score is still 24-20. It's late in the final period, and you're looking at Don Horn, the quarterback, back at his own goal line, throwing deep upfield. Carroll Dale grabs it. The lone defender stumbles. Carroll will race unimpeded for the touchdown, and Green Bay wins it. A 76-yard pass play, 27-24 over Atlanta. So Green Bay is now 1-1 on the year. We're back live at Baltimore Memorial Stadium. You see the halftime score. The Chiefs 31, the Colts 7. Len Dawson having a brilliant first half, throwing 3 touchdown passes to different receivers. And Johnny Robinson with 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery and a subsequent 46-yard run for a touchdown, a Stenerud field goal. The domination complete until Earl Morrill replaced John Unitas, and Morrill came through with there's Earl Morrill right now with a touchdown pass on the very final play of the half, thus the 31-7 score. We now have 6 unbeaten teams remaining in the National Football League. They are, respectively, Chicago and Detroit and San Francisco and Minnesota and Dallas and Los Angeles. And, of course, a reminder, next Monday night, right here on ABC, 2 of those unbeaten teams, the Detroit Lions against the Chicago Bears. Right now, let's go back to Keith Jackson.
At NFL Monday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Colts is being brought to you by Marlboro Filter Cigarettes. Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro Country. By Ford and your Ford dealer, who invites you to come in and test drive the 1971 Ford, the cars with the better ideas. And by Firestone, the mileage specialist. You're on the right track with Firestone. We'll be ready for the second half kickoff between the Chiefs and the Colts in just a moment.
Watch Night Slave, the intriguing movie of the week, tomorrow on ABC.
halftime statistics, surprisingly even, really, in passing as Earl Morrall came on to lead the Baltimore Colts to a touchdown. And the story on Morrall's passing, as he came late in the second quarter, he hit 7 out of 8 for 75 yards. Baltimore had the edge in offensive plays and ball control, but Kansas City went for the bomb, and they had the big play from their defense, and they lead at halftime by a score of 31-7, and there is Don McCafferty, who has to be a troubled man. Remember that Baltimore beat Kansas City in an exhibition game 17-3. Lenny Dawson cranking up on the sideline. In that game, Baltimore intercepted Kansas City quarterback 6 times, but they have not had that kind of success here tonight, as the Chiefs have bombed them and lead 31-7. Now, it'll be most interesting to watch Earl Morrall. He will start the second half when Baltimore gets the football. See what this man of magic can do. For who can ever forget what happened in 1968 when he led the Baltimore Colts, that man right there, to the National Football League championship. The Baltimore Colts will kick off. Jim O'Brien will kick it away, and going deep for Kansas City will be Ed Podolak, number 14, and Warren McVay, number 6. And there's the rookie, Jim O'Brien of Cincinnati. He kicked 3 field goals for Baltimore and led them to victory last week in San Diego in a tough ball game. This youngster from Cincinnati did all right for himself in college, too. He was a great receiver, great wide receiver, as well as kicker. He is a rookie. There are 8 rookies on the Baltimore team. And here we go with the second half of play. And O'Brien gets it very high. And McVay is in the end zone about 7 yards deep. But he has a hole up the middle. And he almost got away. Jim Duncan caught him by the shoulder pad and slowed him down. And the Colts put him away at the 19. Havrelak, the man who put him down.
When you run it back from the end zone, Keith, the test of efficiency is to get past the 20-yard marker, which McVay in this case didn't happen to do. But the Chiefs have the football, and this is one tough team they play catch-up football against with their defense. We'll have to see what Baltimore can pull out of a hat when and if they get the football.
Lenny Dawson, the quarterback. They break off the power I. They give it to Warren McVay, and McVay is up across the 20 to the 23-yard line for a 4-yard pickup. And he was knocked down by Ray May, number 56.
Second down and 6.
Mike Curtis, number 32, his primary job is to stop the run. This time comes on the inside of Buddy, but he's so quick, so fast. Takes a good swipe at McVay and brings him to the ground.
Second down and 6 at the 23 for Kansas City. McVay with the football. Goes up the middle. Fumbled the ball, but Kansas City covers at the 25. And probably E.J. Holub was on it. Bo Moorman was right there, too. Bob Grant, number 51, the man who made the tackle. New linebacker in there, outside linebacker right now for Baltimore. Number 56 is Ray May. Warren McVay has carried 11 times. He's picked up 46 yards for Kansas City in the game. Third down and 4 for Kansas City. Pitts and Richardson both are wide to the right. Wendell Hayes is hit as he comes to the 28-yard line. He is short of the first down. There's the demon linebacker for the Colts, Mike Curtis, leaving the game as the Baltimore defense does its job and will make Kansas City give up the football. Gerald Wilson, who averaged 44-plus per punt last year for Kansas City, will hit it from about the 15. Gardine is the deep man for Baltimore. Wilson spiral. Not too long. Gardine takes it at the 39-yard line, gets a hold, and then it closes. Willie Mitchell, one of the tacklers for Kansas City. George Daney, the man who locked his feet. We have a timeout on the field. Our score as we start the third quarter, Kansas City 31, Baltimore 7.
Now's the time to make sure you've got the kind of tires you need to go this winter. And look how much you've got going for you with Firestone's Town & Country Snow Tire. Now's the time to buy Town & Country's at your Firestone dealers beat the snow sale. Buy one Town & Country at regular exchange price. And you get the second Town & Country at half price at your Firestone store or participating dealer. Use your Bank AmeriCard, MasterCharge, or Firestone Unicharge. Firestone, the mileage specialist.
The man who uses this glove is a pro. He's Brooks Robinson of the Baltimore Orioles, a pro who's played third base in every All-Star game since 1960. Ask this pro who he sees about home, car, and business insurance, and he'd tell you...
See the pro I see about insurance, an independent agent.
See the pro where you find this big I symbol. He's a member of the National Association of Insurance Agents.
The Baltimore Colts have the football. 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line, and Earl Morrall is the man. Tom Matty, as we pointed out early, is not suited up. He is on the move list. He will miss 2 ball games. He has an injury to a leg. Earl Morrall, Sam Havrelak at a setback position along with Norm Bullock. Morrall gives to Bullock. And the big rookie from TCU shows you some muscle as he powers his way into Kansas City territory. He is down at the KC 42. Johnny Robinson made the tackle for Kansas City. A gain of 9, 2nd down and 1 coming up. That was the first time tonight that Bullock has been able to break through for a substantial gain. He's carried 13 times for a total of 33 yards. Jefferson is wide to the right as Morrall goes to throw. Throws to the left side for Eddie Hinton. Emmett Thomas grabs him and drags him out of bounds at the 24-yard line. 1st down, Baltimore.
First and 10, Baltimore. On the 24-yard line.
An 18-yard pickup on the pass play, and Earl Morrall is building into quite a story out of this ball game.
Morrall's technique on a pass or on a drop, when he drops back to pass, he backs out from the center. Unitas, on the other hand, turns and comes back. Discuss that more a little bit later.
1st down, Baltimore, Kansas City, 24-yard line. Morrall to throw, goes for the end zone. Incomplete. The pass intended for Eddie Hinton, and Emmett Thomas was right there.
Earl feels that when he backs straight back from the center on a pass, it gives him better vision into the secondary to see what type of movement the defense, what defense they're in that particular play. Unitas feels he can get back quicker, and if he turns a little bit and goes back to pass, he looks over his shoulder and still tries to read the defensive secondary. Earl is doing a very fine job of isolating one receiver on one defensive back. This is the primary objective in the passing game, to get one man on one man.
2nd down and 10 for the blue-clad Baltimore Colts. At home, packed house. Morrall to throw. Looks for Jefferson. Aaron Brown and Buck Buchanan.
Tackle by Buchanan and Brown.
We'll take a look at it on a split screen. Morrall is going to throw to his right, or he's trying to throw to his right. He gets pressure there. It looks as if he's going to get away, and here comes the 2 big boys. It looks as if maybe Hinton was open on that route.
Loss of 11 yards on the play, back to the 35-yard line. It is 3rd down and 21 for Baltimore at the Kansas City 35. The Chiefs are leading 31-7. 11:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. But Earl Morrall moving the Colts. Chiefs are rushing. Morrall's pass is away. Havrelak, incomplete. A penalty flag is thrown downfield. Havrelak, the man for whom the pass was intended, was offended downfield. And it's first down, Baltimore, inside the Kansas City 15-yard line. Call it the 14.
Very strong tendency by a defensive back when he feels the receiver make a break to get behind him to take his hands and push a little bit. And that's what Thomas did on that last play. And that cost him.
The head linesman, Burl Toller, was right there on the play. Morrow, inside the 14, gives the ball to Haverlack. Jerry Mays makes the tackle on the youngster from Bucknell. Maybe a half yard.
2nd and 9.
People have asked me in the past how much difference does it make when you play in a field that has a baseball diamond when you get down on the dirt. It makes a great deal of difference, in my opinion, on the running game, and it's a handicap to the defensive backs when they try to keep up with the receivers.
Morrow to throw. Loops it. Jefferson. Touchdown. No, he's out of bounds. No, sir. He's out of bounds. He might have had one foot in, but he did not have enough of the other foot in. And the touchdown is waved off.
We'll just take a look and see what we can find. Earl does lob the ball over Marcellus' head. I think he was all the way out.
Third down. Ball is just inside the 14-yard line. Kansas City's 14, and here comes Earl Morrow in relief of Johnny Unitas in Baltimore's home opener. Morrow going for Perkins, and the pass is too long. Ray Perkins, who had come on the field, replacing Jefferson, had gone deep into the corner, and the pass led him a little too much. Perkins had replaced Mackey at tight end.
Field goal attempt by O'Brien.
Now Jim O'Brien is in, fourth down.
From the 22.
Earl Morrow will put the ball at the 22-yard line. If he is successful, it'll be his fourth field goal of this new season. Penalty flag. Came from the umpire. Too much time. Or movement along the offensive line. Let's see which. Illegal procedure.
Penalty against Baltimore.
So that backs the Colts up 5. This time, Earl Morrill is kneeling at the 26-yard line. It's good. 10:05 to go, third quarter. NFL Monday Night Football continues from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore with our score reading now. The Kansas City Chiefs 31, the Baltimore Colts have 10.
This is where the noise is. And this is where the quiet is. The 1971 Ford LTD. The new Ford LTD is not only one of the strongest, quietest Fords ever, but also the most luxurious, with a beautiful new body frame design that presents a solid barrier against road noise. There is still a lot to be done about the noise out there. But we've already done a lot about the quiet in here. If noise is getting to you, take a quiet break in the 1971 Ford. Ford gives you better ideas.
Ed Podolak loosening up in the end zone for Kansas City. Warren McVeigh, the other deep receiver. And Jim O'Brien will tee it up to kick it off for Baltimore. So Earl Morrow who is now 8 out of 12 in passing for 93 yards, 1 touchdown, but did produce another score for Baltimore to make it now 31-10, Kansas City leading. The rookie from Cincinnati hits it. He's got it high. It's not too deep. McVay will have a shot at it. He takes it at the 8-yard line. Oh. Ron Gardine, the rookie from Arizona, made a shoe-top tackle on McVay. And there's the value of the high kickoff. Good coverage downfield. The ball is spotted at the 17. Big crowd of more than 58,000. They have not reached their normal capacity of 63 plus here tonight because the temporary bleachers are not up, because baseball is not over yet for Baltimore. Lenny Dawson, the quarterback, with Pitts and Richardson wide to the left. McVay, having a good night, moves it out to the 23, maybe the 24-yard line before Mike Curtis makes the tackle along with Bob Grant.
Second and 3 from the 24-yard line.
Number 85 for Baltimore in blue is Roy Hilton. Number 47 is Charlie Stooks. That's Mike Curtis. In the middle, number 32. On second down and 3, Bobby Holmes tries the right side, jamming for the first down. He had to get across the 27, and he is close to it.
Here's another shot of Mike Curtis. Mike, number 32, and when your screen is filling the hole, you can see Holmes coming off tackle. Actually, he gets a lot of help from Grant, number 51. Curtis was in the area there. A little bit short for a first down.
So now the big crowd starts to root for the Baltimore defense to hold on. Ray May comes on the field. Big linebacker Billy Newsome is in there at defensive end, number 81. Third down and maybe a foot. Holmes and McVay set behind Dawson. Holmes, Hayes, Wendell Hayes. He should have enough. Try to go over the top. It is the first down, Kansas City, and Hayes leaves along with Morris Stroud. So with the first down, McVay returns. Along the offensive line for Kansas City, Tyrer, Buddy, Holub, Mormon, Hill, Arbanis, the tight end. Mix-up, McVay gets the ball. Despite the mix-up, gets yardage. Moves from the 29 out to about the 33.
Second down and 7.
Warren McVay in his third year from Houston. About 5'9", 180, 85 pounds. He's carried 13 times, 52 yards so far in the game. 7-18, 7-17 as the clock runs. Kansas City leading 31-10, third quarter of play. Second down, 7. Dawson to a long count, probably checked off. Throws. Pitts has got it at the 35, and he is knocked out of bounds by Jerry Logan at the 36.
Third down and 3 from the 36-yard line.
It'll be 3rd down and 3 yards for Kansas City at their own 36. Fred Miller, Billy Ray Smith, Bubba Smith, Roy Hilton, Mike Curtis digging in, trying to make Kansas City cough up the ball. McVeigh gets away from trouble, but he cannot get away from Skip Bolts, who came out of the secondary on the safety blitz and got him.
Fourth down and 7.
4th down for Kansas City and 7 yards to go. The ball is marked at the 32-yard line. Gerald Wilson in the punt, number 44.
Wilson in punting position.
Single safety for Baltimore, the rookie from Arizona, Gardine. Wilson with a beauty. A beauty. Gardine goes all the way back to the 11-yard line, and here he comes. And he finds nothing but white shirts, and Daney made the tackle for Kansas City. 6 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Timeout, our score, Kansas City 31, the Colts 10.
One Schick Super Chromium blade just shaved these 17 professional barbers. Mr. Politi, did you shave this morning with a Schick Super Chromium blade?
Yes, I did. I was number 12, and I had a very nice shave.
Well, what number were you, Mr. Rose?
I was number 13, and it was clean and smooth.
Mr. Vinegar, you shaved with the same Schick Super Chromium blade?
Yes, I was the 15th one to shave, and it was surprisingly smooth.
Good. I see barber number 17 is just finishing his shave. Let's talk to him. You were number 17, Mr.
Vestrin.
How was the shave?
Well, I never would have believed it. It was a nice, close, comfortable shave.
Now then, here's that blade. Schick Super Chromium with a pure chromium edge. One blade, 17 comfortable shaves.
Could the blade in your razor deliver 17 comfortable shaves? Schick Chronochrome, the super chromium blade that fights corrosion. You've got to feel it to believe it.
Kansas City 31, Baltimore 10, 6:07 to go, 3rd quarter. The Chiefs jumped into a 10-0 first quarter lead on Dawson's 48-yard pass to Richardson, Stenerud's 28-yard field goal. Dawson 13 yards to home, made it 17-0, then 24-0, then 31-0, and then Earl Morrow came on to get 10 points for Baltimore, 7 of them in the closing moments of the first half, and Morrow is back in there now, and Emmett Thomas has just picked one off. At the 37-yard line, down the sidelines he goes. He steps out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds at the 14-yard line. So Earl Morrow gets bit by the same kind of a problem that was so much trouble for Johnny Unitas early in the game, the interception.
One of the strongest tendencies that you have to fight down as a quarterback that's way behind is I've got to throw, I've got to put that thing in the air, and that was just it was a bad pass. It was overthrown into a zone, and Thomas just drifted back and picked it off. Almost went in for a score.
He did return it 22 yards. Kansas City's ball, 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 14. Hayes, the lone setback for Kansas City. Here comes McVeigh. Oh, my. Hilton almost had him. Look at that McVeigh go. He's all the way to the 9-yard line.
Out of sight. I'll tell you one thing. He stopped right in the middle of the stream and turned around and went back the other way. A reverse play. McVeigh was set up in the line in a double wing. Handed off to him. He's got good pursuit. You see Billy Ray Smith, number 74, coming over. Fred Miller, 76. He just stopped and said, I'm going the other way. I imagine Baltimore feels like that little Dutch boy. How do I get a thumb back in his hole to stop this thing? I tell you, to get it going in one direction, it's hard to turn.
McVeigh turned what seemed like a sure loss into a 5.5-yard pickup. 2nd down and 5. For Kansas City at the Baltimore 9, McVeigh is caught and dropped at the 10-yard line. And it's Charlie Stoops, number 47, who did it.
They went at Bubba Smith in then. And after the preseason game, Keith, won 17-3 by Baltimore, Warren McVeigh told Bubba, an old friend of his, this game didn't count. When we face you in the one that does, we're going to sweep your end. And Bubba said, I got to see that happen.
McVeigh must be tougher than I think he is. You realize how big Bubba is?
The ball is on the 10-yard line. They've got to go right about the 4-yard line to get a first down. It is 3rd down and 6, and Dawson to throw. Then he has all day, gets it away, and throws it into the next county. Incomplete.
Incomplete.
15 years in the league will tell you when you haven't got anybody covered, throw it at him, but throw it high.
While we're regrouping, let's pause 5 seconds to allow local stations to identify themselves. All right, 4th down. In the game, Stenerud. He's kicked 2. This one, he'll hit from the 17-yard line. He hit it fair and square, and the hands go up all over the ballpark. The kick is good. 4:15 to play in the 3rd quarter. The Kansas City Chiefs now lead by a score of 34-10. And a reminder, Saturday night at 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Join Chris Schenkel, Bud Wilkinson, Bill Fleming for Ole Miss and Alabama from Jackson, Mississippi. Right here on ABC. The Rebels, with Archie Manning at the trigger, 2-0 on the season. Alabama, defeated by USC in the opening game, have come back to bomb the next 2 opponents, including a thrashing of Florida last Saturday. So it looks like Bear Bryant has the Crimson Tide ready for Saturday night's big one against Ole Miss. And you'll see it on ABC at 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Stenerud will kick off. That's Duncan. And Gardine back there with him, and Gardine's going to get it at the goal, a yard deep in the end zone. Here he comes. Oh, and there he goes. Number 70, Sid Smith, rookie from USC, the first man to get there. And Cesar Belcher, number 24, also in on. Call it the 20-yard line. First down, Baltimore. Jefferson coming wide to the right. Earl Morrill, the quarterback. Haverlack and Bulash, the setbacks. Hinton to the left, breaks downfield. Morrill looks at him and hits him. And Eddie is dragged out of bounds by Emmett Thomas up around the 33-yard line.
First down, Colts. At the 33.
It seems that Earl's working with Hinton on Thomas over there, number 18. You see Hinton, number 33, just running a sideline or an outside pattern. He's going to be a very good receiver.
He's caught 5 for 60 yards so far in the game. Colts now have 13 first downs. That's Haverlack from the 33 to the 35. Jerry Mays, number 75, brought him down.
Second down and a 7.
Big Jerry Mays, a 10-year veteran from SMU. Take it to the 36-yard line. Give Haverlack 3 yards on the run, and Morrill back to throw on second down. Throws for Jefferson. Pass is too short. Trapped it. Robinson and Marsalis. Coverage for Kansas City.
Third down and a 7 from the 36.
Next Monday night, 2 undefeated teams have at it in Detroit. The Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. And you'll see it on ABC at 9 Eastern Daylight Time. Jefferson again comes wide to the right. Third down, 7. Morrill under pressure, cannot get away from Buck Buchanan. Big number 86. 6'7", 275, an 8-year veteran from Grambling. He drops Morrow back at the 22, and the Colts will kick it away. David Lee, as you look at the deep men for Kansas City, Mitchell and Podolak, David Lee is averaging 47 yards per kick tonight. And a fair catch called by Ed Podolak at the Kansas City 38-yard line, and there the Chiefs will have it 1st and 10. And Podolak, number 14, is apparently going to stay in the ball game, and he will work at a wide receiver position. Otis Taylor, hurt, not playing tonight for Kansas City. Tom Matty, hurt, not playing for 2 weeks for Baltimore. Tom Mitchell has been hobbling around all week, but Mitchell was running around and, in fact, did get in on a couple of plays in the first half.
Number 42. Correction of 39.
Lenny Dawson is the quarterback. Podolak is in at a setback position with Holmes. Now they shift, and Urbanus moves out of the I into the tight end position. Pitch comes wide to the left. They give it to Podolak. And Mike Curtis got it.
Podolak carried, hit by Curtis.
We'll take a look at Curtis on the middle linebacker blitz. He's going with the flow. You can see Holmes go to his left. Curtis is reading the play, but it is a blitz. It's hard for the offensive center to come out and block the middle linebacker. He got a lot of support from Rick Volk all the way from his weak safety.
Clock running, time remaining in the third quarter. Kansas City leading 34-10. Loss on the play, 3 yards. 2nd down, 13. Dawson will throw. Screen to Holmes. Goes to the 41.
Holmes brought down by
James Bailey was in on the play, number 65. He's a defensive tackle, 6'4", 245. He is a rookie from Kansas. This Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, 5-4 Central Time, Motorcycle Race of Champions from Louisville, Kentucky, and the World Roller Skating Championship from Lincoln, Nebraska. Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports. 3rd down and 8. The pass complete to Holmes, and Holmes is knocked down by Bob Grant at about the 43-yard line, short of the 1st down. So the Colt defense holds. Aaron Brown, big number 87. That's Buck Buchanan, number 86. And Buck gets a drink of water because he's got to go back to work in a minute.
going deep. Wilson back to punt.
Gerald Wilson will punt for Kansas City. Gardine deep for Baltimore. 20 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. The punt is high off the side of the foot. In the field of play, however, and Gardine trying to run it back. Could not, had no room. Downfield to make the tackle. Dave Hadley, number 23 for Kansas City.
First and 10 Colts from their own 24.
12 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. Baltimore has the ball. 1st down. At their 24-yard line. Haverlack and Boulash are set behind Earl Morrow. Haverlack with the ball. He's up to the 25-yard line as the gun cracks to end the 3rd quarter. And after 3, our score, the Kansas City Chiefs 34, the Baltimore Colts 10.
The Most Deadly Game, starring George Maharis, premieres October 10th on ABC.
We start the fourth quarter. A defensive substitution for Kansas City. Marvin Upshaw, number 81, in at defensive tackle, replacing Buck Buchanan. So Upshaw joins Brown, Culp, and Mays on the front line. The linebackers remain the same. Bell, Lanier, Lynch. For Baltimore, Earl Morrill, the quarterback. Second down and about 9. At the 25, fakes the ball to Bulash. Gets the pass away, the bomb deep downfield for Jefferson. The battle for the ball, and Thomas wins. He knocked it loose. Emmett Thomas, number 18 for Kansas City. Well, Don, that Earl can still hurl it.
That was a good, he threw it about 60 yards. You might mention, too, that Johnny Robinson, the free safety we've been talking about earlier, was right in behind Emmett Thomas, and that's his job, too. He protects deep. It was a long throw. Thomas did a good job then staying with the receiver. Earl has got to throw, and this is a very difficult situation for a quarterback to be in because obviously he has to throw, and Kansas City knows this, too. I expect we'll see maybe some stunning by the defensive line of Kansas City and the secondary playing more of a containment type coverage.
Jack Maitland is now in the ball game for Baltimore. Jefferson was out. Mackey went back in, and Mackey breaks the signal and starts downfield. And immediately draws all kinds of yellow flags. 5 yards.
Illegal for a safety penalty.
Well, Dan Sullivan took that one on the nose. That was a shot that it's legal, but Baltimore was obviously offside, and the defensive end was a little bit anxious to get in there. He gave old Sully a pretty good shot.
It'll be third down and 14 yards to go for Baltimore from their own 20-yard line, and there's Hank Stram. Got to be quite comfortable at this point, leading 34-10 with 14:53 to play in the ball game. Morrill's pass is away up the middle, intended for Eddie Hinton. Emmett Thomas again covering on the play. It is no good. Baltimore will have to give it up. Morrill now 9 for 17 in passing for 106 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Podolak and Mitchell are deep. Dave Lee in punting.
Mitchell, number 22, Podolak 14. Deep men, Kansas City. David Lee to do the punting for Baltimore. Gets his kick away. Another good kick. He's a fine punter. Podolak takes it at the 42. Oh, look out!
What a spectacular run.
Fantastic run. We were all about to say about 3 different times, Ben, he's down. It was a good run. You see Podolak catch the ball and split the seam. The wall coming in, there's Mormon trying to set up for him. He does get a couple of good blocks. Now, the punter, David Lee, he's not really used to that tackling line. That's what you call the old bulldog. There's what you call your old bulldog, and he missed it again. And Podolak is heading for that end zone, but he didn't quite make it. A heck of a run back.
He traveled 54 yards with that punt return, and Kansas City has the ball. First and goal to go at the Baltimore 4-yard line. Dawson will throw. He loops it for Pitts. Touchdown!
That's keeping your cool. That's keeping your cool. Dawson took his time in throwing that one and waited till Pitts did come all the way across the back part of the end zone. He got some good pressure from the defensive line. You'll see him shifting to his left. He came back, laid it out a perfect shot to Pitts as Pitts came in behind him. I think the nicest thing you can say is that Kansas City is really hot tonight.
Stenerud for the point. Dawson 9 for 12 in passing, 152 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the kick is good. So we have a timeout at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. 14:01 to play in the ball game, and it's now Kansas City 41, Baltimore 10.
When you fly to Hawaii on United, we give you something nobody else gives you. It's our free little corner of the world kit, including a treasure map, a book filled with Hawaiian history and culture, a discount coupon book worth up to $100, Everything to make our little corner of the world yours.
Many tires have only 2-quart plies, but Firestone champions have 4 full nylon plies. 4 nylon plies to fight road punishment. Get this strong 4-ply Firestone tire at your local Firestone store or participating dealer. Prices start at a low $10.95. Use your Bank AmeriCard, MasterCharge, or Firestone Unicharge. Firestone, the mileage specialist.
Stenerud will kick it off for Kansas City in white as the Chiefs run away with it, leading 41-10 with 14:01 to play in the ball game. The deep men for Baltimore, Gardine on the right, Duncan on the left. Going to give you another look at the work of Frank Pitts, an isolated shot of him as he cruised through the end zone to catch Lenny Dawson's 4th touchdown pass. Stenerud's kick, he didn't get all of it. He hit more tee than he did ball, and is taken by Gardine up at the 10-yard line. And he comes back to the 32, and a penalty flag goes into the pile. Marvin Upshaw was the man who had a hold of him, along with Cesar Belter. And let's wait for the penalty. It's apparently against Kansas City, and it's a big one, and it could very well be.
Face guard, I think.
Face guard, yep. Nope. Yep. All right, let's take another look at Frank Pitts.
You see Pitts' pattern as he came into the end zone. He's just trying to make his way across the middle. But he sees Lenny, and Lenny's in trouble. You see him stick that hand up. I'm going for the corner, Lenny. That's what he said.
Yeah, whatever he said was right.
Lenny hurt him, didn't he?
That's right. Up on the 47-yard line as Morrill comes to throw. Throws for Hinton, and Eddie's got it. And he is down at the Kansas City 39-yard line.
Tackle by Thomas.
A 14-yard pickup and a first down for Baltimore.
Ball is on the 39.
Earl Morrill, a 15-year veteran from Michigan State. Throws for Jefferson, and it is knocked down by linebacker Bobby Bell.
That was a fantastic defensive move by Bell. He did have his receiver open behind Bell, but Bell looked like he jumped about, I'd say 10 or 12 feet in the air and knocked that one down.
You woke up a lot of high jumpers around the country, I'll tell you, with that track.
8 or 9. It was a very good move. They got good depth there. Kansas City, as I mentioned earlier, pretty aware of the fact that Baltimore's going to have to move the ball in the air. They haven't done that good a job all night.
2nd down and 10 from the Kansas City 39. Morrill to throw. Going deep for Hinton.
Oh,
no good.
One of those almost fantastic catches.
Johnny Daney, number 60, George Daney.
He's been busting those wedges all night. That's what's wrong with him. He's done a fine job on the kicking teams for Kansas City.
For Baltimore, 3rd down, 10. Kansas City, 39. Vogel, Sullivan, along the front line, along with Curry. Morrill has the Kansas City defense guessing. Penalty flag is on the field. The pass is caught by Roy Jefferson at the 30-yard line.
Pass complete to Jefferson. Flag on the play.
The flag went down before the ball was released. Marsalis covering Jefferson.
It appears that Kansas City was offside. Keith, I imagine Earl's trying to decide whether he wants to take the 5 yards and give him another down or take the pass reception. I think that was short for the first down.
Yard short.
Decisions, decisions, decisions.
Offside. Penalty against the Chiefs.
Ball is put down at the 34-yard line as Morrow does accept the penalty to make it third down and 5 yards to go for the first down. Mike Livingston cranking up for Kansas City. He may be in at quarterback on the next series. Oops. In the backfield, there was movement. Jack Maitland moving before the snap of the ball. That drew all the penalty flags. The pass was incomplete. The youngster, a rookie from Williams College, number 23, obviously eager.
Penalty. Backfield in motion. Decline.
Now it'll be fourth down and 5 yards to go for Baltimore as Kansas City declines the penalty. And Sam Haverlack goes into the backfield for Baltimore, replacing Maitland. 12:56 to go in the ball game. The Chiefs are on top, 41-10. 4th and 5, the Colts will try to get it. Morrill to throw. Gets his pass away to Haverlack. He is hit at the 29, and he is thrown back. He'll be close to the first down. He could not thrust the body ahead.
Timeout. Official.
Jim Tunney, the referee, trying to put the ball down precisely where it stopped, so the chain will come on. Kansas City next week will go to Denver.
And, Keith, we neglected to mention at halftime that Denver is unbeaten, 2-0, and Kansas City must catch Lou Saban's vastly improved Broncos.
As you can see, Baltimore is just that much short of the first down, and Kansas City takes over the ball. The Colts will be in Boston next week, and next Monday night we will be in Detroit to see a couple of those undefeated teams, the Bears and the Lions. Mike Livingston is now in the ball game for Kansas City, number 10 at quarterback. 6'4", 210, 3-year man from SMU. Maurice Stroud, number 88, is in at a tight end position, and Bobby Holmes has broken one. Fumble, and Baltimore recovers. Holmes broke it from the 29 across midfield, but lost the ball at the Baltimore at the 49-yard line, and the Colts come up with it. And it looked like number 74, Billy Ray Smith, the 12-year veteran from Arkansas, was on the ball.
On the 48.
12 minutes to go in the game. Baltimore has it. They're on 49. Morrow gives the ball to Bulash. 50-yard line, 1 yard on the play.
Pretty good example of the speed that Bobby Bell has. You saw him come from a linebacker's position, and Bulash is running 9.5 or 9.600. As he cut to the outside, Bell was with him step for step. Made an outstanding defensive play.
Bulash was carried 14 times in the game, 34 yards. 2nd down, 9, Baltimore midfield. Morrow looking deep, throws for Mackey. Kearney defending, the pass incomplete.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the field. Sammy Davis Jr. guest stars with Danny Thomas in the new comedy hit Make Room for Granddaddy, Wednesday night at 8/7 Central Time here on ABC. Penalties against the Colts. 11:22 to go in the game. Jerry Mays, number 75, indicating once that he wanted the penalty. Now Earl Morrill says something that stops any movement. Now it'll go the other way. So the penalty flag was thrown against Kansas City. And it moves it to the 35-yard line, where it'll be Baltimore's ball, 1st and 10. personal foul.
Penalty against Kansas City.
Number 33 in the game for Baltimore. That's Hinton, wide receiver. Earl Morrow's statistical story. Jefferson is wide right. Morrow's pass, intended for Mackey, is incomplete. Jim Kearney covering, the big crowd yelling for interference.
Covered by Kearney.
Matter of fact, John Mackey's got a couple of words to say about it.
Talking about this crowd, there's a feeling of disbelief, which I feel from this crowd, like this is not the kind of game I expected. I don't think this is the kind of game anybody expected. Baltimore has not played very sharp tonight. Kansas City has been in control of the game since the very beginning, and I don't think the fans are that pleased with their hometown crew tonight.
Second down and 10 for Baltimore. 88 is Mackey, 15 is Morrow. Jefferson is wide to the right. Maitland and Bullock, the setbacks. Morrow to throw. Gets his pass away, and it is almost picked off by Kearney, intended for Mackey.
That would have been another one. He had a clear field ahead of him. You're right about the Baltimore fans, Don, but putting the whole thing into perspective, Baltimore had tough going. They had to play catch-up football. They started John Unitas, who was, in fairness, hampered by the bad knee. Now the fans are booing both the officials and, to a degree, their own team. Earlier, they booed John Unitas himself, and you hate to see that happen.
Yeah, you really do. John's a great player, no question about that. And he didn't have a good night, and there's no question about that. But neither is anyone else for Baltimore as far as that goes. They really haven't played that well.
Third down and 10 for the Colts as Morrow fades to throw. Loops it deep for Perkins, and it is incomplete. Double coverage is Willie Mitchell. Number 22 is back there, along with Johnny Roberts. So it brings up fourth down for Baltimore at the Kansas City 35-yard line.
You talk about playing a good game or a bad game, you know, it's oftentimes overlooked. The bad games seem to come when you're playing against real good football players, and that might have something to do with it.
Well, there are a lot of good ones out there in white, I'll tell you that. But Baltimore, having handled them well in the exhibition game, got to be a little stunned by the way they've been dominated here in the game. Chiefs are dancing and prancing and almost offsides. Morrow's pass is away, and it's caught by Eddie Hinton.
I think you'd have to say Eddie Hinton's had a good night.
He has had a good night. I like to see him catch him in the crowd, and he caught this one in the crowd. He ran into Willie Lanier, number 63. It's a down and in pattern or a cross pattern. You see Thomas, number 18, coming in from behind him. As he's in the air, Thomas more or less pushes him and causes more momentum as they run into Lanier. I don't think Lanier moves an inch. Awfully strong, middle linebacker.
The two-year man from Oklahoma, Eddie Hinton, has caught 7 for 89 yards. Bullock gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe, and that's all. And that is big Aaron Brown, number 87, getting up off the top of it. The pass to Hinton was good for the first down.
2nd and 11.
When Hinton was at Oklahoma playing in the Big 8, Oklahoma, out of the 8 teams in the Big 8, was number 7 in pass attempts, and yet he led the conference in pass receptions, which is an indication that he's been a good receiver for some time. He caught 60 passes in his senior year for very close to 1,000 yards.
Bullock is out of the backfield for Baltimore, and Jerry Hill is in replacing him at a setback position as Morrill on 2nd and 11 throws. Hinton! Touchdown if the call is against Kansas City. The penalty flag is on the field.
It was against Kansas City. That was a beautiful throw and another good route by Hinton. So it's a 6-pointer for Baltimore. All right. And here that young fellow from Oklahoma comes again. You'll see Thomas, as he has his hands on him, that's all right there. When he got him, was when he turned, he grabbed his shoulder pad a little bit. And that is an interference call, but it didn't slow Hinton down. It was a good throw by Morrow. So we've got 6 points on the board for Baltimore.
And the second touchdown pass of the night for Earl Morrell. 9:39 to go in the game. Jim O'Brien is in. Hinton has now caught 8 for 110 yards and a touchdown, and O'Brien's kick is straight through the upright. So we have a timeout at Memorial Stadium, Baltimore, with a score now, Kansas City 41, Baltimore 17.
The man who uses this glove is a pro. He's Brooks Robinson of the Baltimore Orioles, a pro who's played third base in every All-Star game since 1960. Ask this pro who he sees about home, car, and business insurance, and he'd tell you...
See the pro I see about insurance, an independent agent.
See the pro where you find this big I symbol. He's a member of the National Association of Insurance Agents.
Mike Curtis is tough. He plays football hard. But he wants his hair to be soft.
That's why I use Brill Cream. A little dab leaves your hair soft, really natural, like it should be.
Brill Cream believes a man should be tough. But his hair should be soft. Brill Cream, the best-selling hair dressing in the world.
Baltimore's Jim O'Brien will kick off. The Colts go 51 yards in 8 plays to get the touchdown. Warren McVeigh, number 6, and Ed Podolak, number 14, are the deep men for Kansas City. O'Brien teeing it up, and remember, Saturday night at 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time, Ole Miss and Alabama on ABC. One of the great college matches of any football year. Onside kick. Boat has it. And he is down at the 22-yard line, but they'll bring it back to the 44, where he picked it up.
You won't see a better one than that, John. Beautifully executed.
Perfectly timed. The reason it is brought back is the ball cannot be advanced unless it is touched by the receiving team first. But he can cover it. The ball is Baltimore's ball. It seemed as if they forgot about the onside kick on that one because I didn't see anyone covering for it. Volpe has great speed. Was a beautiful onside kick, and now Baltimore has a little brand new breath of life.
9 minutes and 14 seconds left to play in the ball game as Earl Morrow goes to work. Mays is after him, and Brown gets him, and Curly Culp is in the middle. So Brown, Culp, and Mays were all coming.
That's the 5th time tonight Brown has been in there to get the quarterback. And talking about that onside kick, Jim O'Brien yesterday morning at the Baltimore practice came over to the sidelines for just a moment, picked up some footballs, and said to the general manager, Don Klosterman, I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes practicing onside kicks, and so he did, and it paid off here.
Hard work always pays off.
A loss of 8 yards on the play. Ray Perkins, number 27, in replacing Mackey, has come to the left side as the wide receiver. Morrow back to throw. From the 48. Lofts it downfield for Perkins. Perkins was open. A penalty flag is down.
Another interference call against Willie Mitchell. Very aggressive young man, number 22 for Kansas City. He wants to make that ball club, and he's out there hitting.
I think they've called defensive holding up in front, haven't they?
And I thought I did such a great job of explaining that pass interference. Wish they wouldn't do that with me.
Well, I'll tell you, Willie hit him a pretty good shot as he came down the sideline. So let's take a look at it.
Against Kansas City, 5-yard penalty, first down Colts.
Take a look at it here as you watch the contact.
All right, here he comes. And that is a holding penalty. And you know what? I'm glad that happened because it gives us a chance to mention this. There's a difference between defensive holding and defensive pass interference. The ball had not been in the air, I suppose, when he grabbed him.
5 yards, automatic first down. The ball given to Maitland, and the youngster from Williams College sprints all the way down to the 22-yard line. 26 yards on the run by Jack Maitland, and Thomas brought him down.
Ball is on the 23.
8 minutes and 28 seconds to play in the ball game. Baltimore storming back here in the fourth quarter. They've got a long way to travel. They'll take a big storm. They put the ball down at the 23 where Maitland was shoved out of bounds. Another first down for the Colts. The linebackers were coming. Morrill gets his pass away right into the hands of Jefferson, and then it is knocked loose in a beautiful defensive play by Johnny Robinson. Or was it Marsalis? Let's wait till he gets up. It's Marsalis. Marsalis wrapped his arms around him and jarred it loose. So Marsalis leaves, limping some.
He took a pretty good fall, and it looked as if Jefferson may have come down on him when they both fell together.
Second down, 10. Baltimore at the Kansas City 23. It is Eddie Hinton on the reverse. And Eddie Hinton, who has been quite a performer tonight, is down right around the 12-yard line.
Excellent job by Thomas as he came in from behind the interference that he had to slow Hinton down enough. Hinton did have some blockers out in front of him. We'll take another look at it. Here comes Hinton, number 33, around. You can see the blockers out in front. And there's Thomas, number 18, that slowed Hinton down and enabled the Kansas City pursuit to catch up with him.
I like the way Maitland handed off to him, too. That Maitland has come in there, and as Keith mentioned, he's from Williams. He's a player.
12-yard line. First down, Baltimore. Kansas City 12. Pass in and out of the hands of Mackey, and there's a penalty flag on the field again. Kearney was the defender for Kansas City. It's against the Chiefs. Holding.
Holding penalty against Kansas City.
You'll see Thomas right on him.
First down on the 7-yard line.
And there again, he's got the defensive holding. He's pushing him, pulling him back. You know, the main difference between a holding, defensive holding, and interference penalty is the holding penalty is only a 5-yard penalty.
Ball is right about the 7-yard line. The handoff to Maitland. He's fighting. Oh, look at him. Put up a battle.
And the defensive interference penalty that I was going to tell you about is whenever the infraction occurs, that's where the ball is marked. So that distance could be any number of yards, depending on how far downfield the interference penalty occurred. So the defensive holding penalty is only a 5-yard penalty.
Jack Maitland took the ball to the 4-yard line, moving it 3 yards. And as he emerged from the dust storm, number 84, Tom Mitchell, who has been hobbling on a sore ankle, is in at tight end, and Mitchell was scheduled to start had he not been hurt. Maitland, again, into the middle, short of the goal line. He's got good size. He's 6'1", 210. Upton Bell, the personnel director, saying that they were tipped off that there was a fine football player up there at Williams, and they went up and had a look, and sure enough. Third down, goal to go at the 2, Baltimore. Morrill to throw. Loops it. Mitchell, Mackey, incomplete. Kearney covering for Kansas City. So now it is 4th down and goal from the 2.
4th and goal from the 2.
6 minutes, 8 seconds remaining to play in the ball game. Kansas City on top, 41-17. Tom Matty not playing tonight. He is on the move list, or what amounts to an injured category for 2 weeks. Jefferson has come off the field. The action stopped by the official. Dust swirling up from that dirt track which runs around the outfield here at Memorial Stadium. Upshaw remains in the game. Buchanan is out. Brown is in there. Culp, Mays along the defensive front four for Kansas City. Lynch, Bell, and Lanier, the linebackers. Morrow throwing. Mitchell, touchdown. Tom Mitchell, a four-year veteran from Bucknell, made the catch.
The old Colts are coming back. A good fake by Earl in the middle of the line. It held the secondary momentarily until Mitchell could come across the back of the end zone for the reception.
O'Brien will go for the point. Out of Morrow's hole. High snap. Kick is good. NFL Monday Night Football continues from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Our scoreboard reads now, Kansas City 41, Baltimore 24.
The 1971 Torino, the Ford that gives you better ideas for less. Make it better, then price it lower. That's the whole idea behind Torino. Torino's 3-speed automatic transmission can operate manually for extra control. The lean 6-passenger Torino's front power brakes are disc brakes for straighter, fade-resistant stops. And those high-back bucket seats aren't just buckets with separated headrests. Torino's 4-speed transmission comes with a Hurst shifter. Torino gives you big car options its nearest competition doesn't offer. Even a heated rear window defroster. On top of that, Torino is the only middle-sized car with this choice of roofline, sports roof and hardtop. And its longer wheelbase gives you a smoother ride. The list runs on practically forever, but time doesn't. So see your Ford dealer for the entire Torino story. Torino, the Ford that gives you better ideas for less.
41-24, Kansas City leading Baltimore. 6 minutes and 3 seconds to play in the game as Jim O'Brien tees it up to kick it off. And Warren McVeigh, number 6, along with Bobby Holmes, is deep for Kansas City. I think you can look for Earl Morrow probably to get the starting call next week for the Colts. Onside kick. And Marsalis covers at the 39-yard line for Kansas City.
Flag on the play.
And there's Sam Ball, one of the veteran offensive tackles for Baltimore, showing some of the wear and tear of the night and the time remaining. Penalty flag down. It's going to go against the Kansas City Chiefs. They were offside. Going the wrong way. The ball will be teed up on the 45-yard line. In the fourth quarter, Kansas City has had only 2 offensive plays. Baltimore has had, in the fourth quarter, 22. Following the news tonight, be sure to watch the Dick Cavett Show. Dick's guest this evening, Norman Mailer. Dick Cavett, following the news. McVeigh and Holmes are creeping up. They don't really expect O'Brien to hit this one. He goes for the onside kick. It's got to go 10 yards, and it did not. It traveled 6 yards. So that's the penalty against Baltimore.
Seeing Sam Ball on the sidelines a while ago points up a fact that Jerry Mays, whom Ball has been playing in front of or across from all night, Jerry has had an outstanding game for Kansas City in their defensive line. Defensive captain, a 10-year veteran with the Kansas City Chiefs. Done a fine job.
Ball will move back to the 40-yard line now, and 5:55 remaining to play in the game.
O'Brien kicking off from the 40.
No, let's see what Jimmy can do this time.
You can hear the Kansas City players say, look for the onside kick.
Wendell Hayes grabs it and drops at the 45-yard line.
Ball fielded by Wendell Hayes.
Wendell Hayes.
Johnny Unitas on the sideline.
First and 10, Kansas City from the 45.
Mike Livingston, number 10, the quarterback. Lenny Dawson apparently through for the night, unless some lightning strikes for Baltimore very quickly. Stroud, the big tight end, shifting out of the backfield. Podolak. He's tough. He goes to the Baltimore 42-yard line before Tom Maxwell gets him down.
Tackled by Logan and Maxwell.
He is tough. He's the guy who said when he was a member of the College All-Stars a year ago when they played the Jets that the Jets were a bunch of fat old men. He's tough with the mouth as well as the body.
Ball is down to the 41, 15 yards on the play. He's been working all week at wide receiver in case he might be needed there because of the injury to Otis Taylor. They haven't missed Otis very much so far tonight. Bobby Holmes gets just inside the 40. Bailey, 65. Miller, 76. Grant, 51 for Baltimore.
You saw the picture of Unitas on the sideline a while ago with his long hair. For years, Unitas has had a crew cut. And I was talking with Bobby Boyd, the coach with the Baltimore Colts, and Bobby doesn't have much hair at all, and he was comparing his hairdo with Unitas. He said, you know, Unitas now has to comb his, and I still just wipe mine off with a rag.
Second down and 8 at just inside the 40. Call it the 39. Livingston to throw. Mike Curtis. Oh, did Curtis just missed him? And coming in from the other side, Billy Newsom, number 81.
A lot of blue jerseys in that backfield that time. We've mentioned Curtis many times tonight, but Mike is an outstanding middle linebacker. This is a blitz where he comes off of the move of the defensive tackle. He's taken a good, strong beat on old Mike Livingston from Southern Methodist University, and Newsom comes in to put the finishing touches on it. Newsom took a pretty good lick from Bubba Smith as he came across to help.
Loss is back to midfield. 9 yards. Third down and 19 for Kansas City. Chiefs lead 41-24 with 3:39 to play. That's Podolak. And Ed gets back to the 40.
Baltimore came with their linebackers that time, too. Baltimore, a few years ago, was known as a very high blitzing team. They blitzed a great deal. In talking with Dawson this afternoon, he says they really don't do that anymore unless they're behind. They blitz an average of like 15%, which is not uncommonly high. But I would imagine this last quarter, you'll see the Colts blitz quite a bit.
On 4th down and 9, Stenerud is in the ball game for Kansas City. He will try a 47-yard field goal. It's good. 47 yards. Stenerud hits one. And that runs the score up to 44-24. Remember, Saturday night on ABC, 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time, ABC NCAA football. Ole Miss and Alabama from Jackson, Mississippi. Archie Manning and Scott Hunter. The Rebels and the Crimson Tide. One of the great college games of any football season. John Stenerud from 47 yards makes it Kansas City 44, Baltimore 24. It's quite a story from a young man who came over to Montana State University to do some ski jumping from Norway and became one of the most efficient field goal kickers of all time. Johnny Unitas, downcast on the sidelines. I was looking at the statistics on Stenerud. He was 23 out of 23 from inside the 20-yard line. Gardine returning the kickoff for Baltimore. Comes back to the 30. They'll give him to the 31-yard line, maybe.
Tackle by Stein. First and 10 Colts at the 31.
Those kickoff return and punt return men amaze me. You know, they have a running stride or a style all their own. It's a unique talent to do that. I guess mainly it's just take the ball and run as fast as you can and hard as you can.
Earl Morrill is the quarterback. Hinton wide to the left. Morrill wants to throw and throws for Hinton, and Eddie's got it. Fumble. Was he down? He was down before the ball came loose.
Now, this is an excellent pass as Earl actually throws the ball in a hole. You'll see Hinton come down again with Thomas defending. Hinton comes back across the middle. There's some linebackers in front of Earl. This is a very difficult pass to throw. You see the linebacker jump. That was Lynch in front. The ball came right in, and Hinton made another very fine reception.
We have a timeout with 2 minutes to play in the ball game, and our score, Kansas City 44, Baltimore 24.
While most of you like the taste of Benson and Hedges 100s, some of you really appreciate the 3, 4, maybe even 5 moments more they give you. Three, 4, maybe even 5 moments more than king size.
This is Big Al Hurt saying that you need only 2 things when you go fishing. Lots of Miller High Life and a little bit of luck. Hey, look at that, man. Big Daddy. That deserves a Miller. Hearty, robust, deep down good. Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
That last catch for 23 yards gives Eddie Hinton a total of 9 receptions for the night, 132 yards, and a touchdown. And the story on Earl Morrill, you see. Earl came on late in the second quarter and has been effective. First down at the Kansas City 47-yard line. Morrill throws intended for Perkins. It is intercepted by Emmett Thomas. He's hobbling along, and he is finally knocked out of bounds. That is the 4th interception, the 2nd for Thomas.
May have pulled a Charlie Horse, it looked like, in his leg as he made his cut there. I'll get a report on that in a minute. Earl got a little pressure from the defensive line. They were closing in on him a little bit. It looked like he released it possibly a little bit high. The ball may have taken off on him or floated a little bit. It did go over the head of his intended receiver. And
from the 37.
You do that against this Kansas City secondary, and you're going to get it picked off.
The ball is on the 37-yard line. Kansas City, first down. And there's Emmett Thomas. Oop, they're playing with that knee.
Yeah, they sure are.
Livingston, the quarterback. Podolak gets a yard. Emmett Thomas. I tell you, a loss of this fellow would really be a loss in anybody's secondary. He is a fine football player.
I didn't see him get hit on that knee. Possibly he may have turned it as he made his cut. I hope it's not his knee and it's just a Charlie horse. You can work those things out. Those knees take quite a while.
2nd down and 9 at the 38 for Kansas City. Livingston, number 10, quarterback. Bobby Holmes. Out to about the 40. And Fred Miller calls time, defensive captain, so Baltimore spends one of its precious timeouts with 58 seconds to go in the ball game. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. The NFL Monday Night Football, produced and directed by Chet Forte. Co-produced by Jim Feeney and Dennis Lewin. Co-directed by Lou Bopacelli. Associate Director Lou Frederick. Our technical directors, Bill Morris and Rolf Drucker. The engineering supervisor, Roy Robbins. Unit manager, Joe Bush. Assistant to the producers, Bill Yerrick.
Possibly an understatement, but I think the balance that Kansas City has as an entire team is certainly a key to their success. They've got fine defense, offense, and a great kicking game, and that pretty well covers it.
Third down and 7 yards to go for the Chiefs, and they're staying on the ground as Livingston hands it away to Ed Podolak. And again, Baltimore spends a timeout with 53 seconds to play in the game, and there's a gentleman at ABC who enjoyed his retirement party tonight, I am sure. To Henry Heed, after 43 years, is going to take it easy. We certainly, all of us here at ABC Sports, want to wish Henry the very best in those happy months of leisure ahead for him, happy years. The Kansas City Chiefs, who jumped off big early in the ball game, never really been in serious trouble in the game. Buck Buchanan, as a matter of fact, has rested the entirety of the fourth quarter, so Buck's probably enjoyed it. And the Chiefs have a lead of 44-24. On fourth down, Gerald Wilson will kick it away to Baltimore with 53 seconds remaining to play in the game. End over end.